And we are back, everybody. As promised, coming back live for our tiebreaker, our final deciding match. I am super excited to see what we are jumping into here. I think that, honestly, both teams already being warmed up. I was going to say I think that OSU will probably come back out for it. But given the fact that they do have a substituted player, who knows what's going to end up happening. It's going to be a really interesting game, I think.
Yeah, it will be interesting. Ohio State, as we just said, they're subbing out their highest scorer of the tournament so far. Before I eat cherries, instead, he's going to be replaced by Nick Pepe, who we've also seen earlier in the tournament, another really strong player. But Cherries was definitely on that last game, that game 2 against Florida State, and now he's gone. So it'll be interesting to see how Ohio State is able to respond. If maybe this breathes new life into the team, and they're capable of getting back at Florida State and winning this game 3.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, guys. So as of right now, it looks like FSU is jumping in to their first match. They have about 32 seconds left before they're jumping into their first one.
Yeah, meanwhile, we have Astro for Ohio State. They're still 15 seconds away from getting into their game. Guys, we all wanted Florida State to win that game 2. We all wanted to see them force this game 3 right now. But do we have any predictions for this game 3 now that they're on even ground?
I am gonna say FSU only because OSU subbed out their best player. Definitely makes me nervous.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And here we have it right now. Florida State jumping into a game. Lavelle and Daniel, how do you guys feel about this game 3 right now?
I said I'm gonna flip again, and I think I'm gonna go Ohio State because I think I need to get back in good graces with Scotty B in the chat.
Yeah, the prodigal son Lavelle returns to the good graces of Scotty B.
Fair weather by the round.
Oh my God, you can't even pick one team across 2 games.
Bring Texas once we get Texas in here.
Once we get Texas in here.
So it looks like OSU is having some screen issues going on right now. So we're waiting for OSU to update. But right now we have a focus on FSU. So we are keeping track of Ohio State University between the lag, but we will update you guys as soon as we have that stream back up. I know our guys behind scenes in the chat are working on it.
The Oompa Loompas, they're not doing their job right now. I'm kind of disappointed, but we're going to see Florida State in here right now. A cup of apple juice, arguably their best player. He's in the gulag waiting for his turn. Meanwhile, he has one other teammate in the gulag in Bapa's slot. He's still up and at him in the lobby, trying to put on for this Florida State team as these guys try and get out the gulag. Apple Juice is going to be pushing up this left side strong, but conservative. As he's hanging out in his spawn, doesn't want to overextend. And he catches sight of his opponent, and the quick kill lands all of his shots. Really impressive aim in there by a cup of Apple Juice. And, a strong performance as he's going to get redeployed. Meanwhile, we have Ohio State, still having some shooting troubles. But Ohio State, they're off to a hot start, too. They have one player down in the gulag, but the remaining squad mates were able to get a squad wipe on another team. So right now they're looking good.
Now we're looking at FSU, who FSU has continually really brought every single round, guys. Every single round, they're really, they're bringing the energy. And now we're hearing really good team communication too. So I think that they came to win this.
Yeah, definitely. And Florida State, they went to 3 games in that first round, but only due to an absolutely godly performance by TCU. TCU scoring 47 runs in their game 2, the highest run total we've seen by any one team so far this tournament. Florida State, though, they were able to take back that momentum and bounce back for game 3. And to earn their way into the semifinals. And here we see them again in another game 3.
I'm gonna jump. Yeah, pick it up. I'm gonna jump. Jump out, pick it up.
And Daniel, for those of our audience who may have missed the rules, maybe didn't catch all of game 2, how about we go over what makes this tournament so special, how we are incorporating baseball and Call of Duty to make up for the lack of a College World Series this year.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously we know College World Series was canceled, so we took it upon ourselves to create a tournament that encompassed baseball with runs, grand slams, home runs. So, and I can throw a baseball terminology pretty much into anything you possibly give me.
Absolutely.
Scott in the chat right now, he's wondering if we're allowed to say anything negative about Florida State. I usually don't trash talk the winning team, Scott, so I try to stay away from that.
Okay.
And we see Florida State right now, they have their eyes on another squad. They're eyeing that helicopter, tempted to go for it, but it looks like they're just going to be making the move on this squad and try and get some more kills. We saw them off to a really hot start in that last game, scoring 25 runs in the first 25 minutes of the match. They slowed down that the last half of that match, only scoring, I think, 6 runs after that. But, we know that these guys are capable of just popping off and for a run explosion. So, it'll be interesting to see what Florida State we have this game. Do we have, godly S-tier Florida State that can't lose, or are we going to have the slower, hard time getting it going Florida State that we've seen pop up throughout this tournament a couple times?
Just so everyone knows, these matches started at 7. Behind the scenes, everyone was given the go-ahead to go at 7, and the matches will end at 7:45. That's 7:45 Eastern. So we make sure there's no timer issues, lags and streams. 7:45, it will be over, and we have someone calculating live as it goes. So just listen to it as we get those updates live to you.
Absolutely. So we'll be updating the scores on both sides of the screens for both teams. As well, guys, we also updated who the subbed out players are. So now every player has been updated, so you guys have an updated roster, both for OSU and FSU. Now we're hearing a lot more team strategy, I'm hearing, from FSU this round.
I'm hearing people pissed.
Definitely pissed at the Gulag finish, for sure.
I mean, FSU is also playing great game music, though, so, I mean...
We're good.
Absolutely. So right now, whoever wins this will be moving on to the finals. This is the tie-breaking round 3. Again, all this is still our first game of the night, really. We still have UCLA versus Virginia Tech after this, guys. So if you're just now tuning in, make sure that you guys are clicking that follow button so you guys are notified for the finals, as well as our other tournament, the Rocket League tournament, coming up right around the corner, which you guys will be able to do your own brackets on that one as well. Whether you're a soccer fan or not, it's going to be huge, and you can still rep your school. So it's going to be an awesome Rocket League tournament. As Lavelle's mentioned before, they have all types of giveaways for that tournament too. Celebrity co-host. It's going to be a really, really good time. So make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. And of course, we're going to be having some giveaways over the course of this stream as well. We still have one more game to go, possibly 2 tonight. So we'll see how many giveaways we have happen. You guys got to stay tuned and listen, because we'll be letting you guys know when and how you're going to win.
Yeah.
Just to follow up with that, Matt, yeah, we have a Rocket League tournament coming on, so we ask you, share a follow, stay in contact with us. We have some super celebrity athletes who also game in the soccer world. So they're going to be, and we're going to be announcing, giving you a little bit of taste of that tomorrow on tomorrow's finals games.
Absolutely. And so, guys, we have both teams in the lobby right now. Florida State's in their warm-up lobby. Ohio State's just getting into their game right now.
And we do have an updated time clock back on there, guys. We had to get the clock updated for when the teams started precisely, and both of them dropped in. So now you guys will see we have 34 minutes, 42 seconds left on the clock, as both teams are kind of starting to lay the fire down. And, of course, we're already warmed up from our game just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, and, we're seeing a slower start from Florida State in the first 10 minutes. They just have one run so far from that first lobby. Not like we saw in that last game, Ohio State, Nick Pepe, he's stepping in for Cherries pretty well. He's already got 2 runs. So a hot start for the Ohio State team as a whole. You know, KSWB and Astro, it took them a little while to get going in that last game, and already, you know, we see them performing for their team. I'm starting to get a little bit worried for Florida State. You know, they've already kind of, I don't want to say wasted, but haven't taken advantage of the first 10 minutes of this match. Still got 34-ish minutes left, so plenty of time, of course. But, you know, this is definitely going to be a war of attrition, it seems like. Not those high-scoring games that we've been seeing from these two teams in the past.
Yeah, I mean, they are just now getting started, though. We still have, you know, a long time left, over 30 minutes, which is 2/3 of the game. And, of course, FSU, habitually a team that really starts turning it on about halfway through, about 15 minutes left. OSU, we have a couple new faces, so we don't really know what we're going to expect. But based off how they're all kind of similarly keeping a score right now, I think that it's going to be a 3 versus apple juice.
Yeah, Scott's still trashing me right now for all my Florida State. Hey, I'll be the first to admit it. You know, they're a hot and cold team. You know, they've been popping off, and then sometimes they'll go through these long periods of slumps. Just like in baseball, you know, the best hitters, sometimes they go through slumps. But the best hitters, they just keep swinging. Best shooters, they keep shooting.
Now, Ryan, I don't know, the audience can see you right now, but you're actually wearing a red hat. So is that in support to Ohio State? I didn't notice if you had it before or not. So is that in support for Ohio State? Is that like a subtle hint of who you're cheering for this round?
Yeah, you know, Axe, thank you so much for the follow. We really appreciate it. Daniel, the red hat, it could go both ways. Obviously, Florida State is a little bit more of a maroon. But, you know, I'm a UVA alum, and I will rep the ACC in any cross-conference tournament match, whatever it is. So I got to ride for Florida State here. You know, and the other thing is I think Florida State, you know, I think they're going to be the best competition to the team I'm picking to win the whole thing, UCLA. UCLA, from what I've seen, just seems to be, you know, the best, most well-rounded team in this tournament. And I think it's going to take a team that can be hot and cold and just pop off to beat those guys. They're just going to have to get lucky for 2 games. So I'm hoping Florida State moves on here to face UCLA and we get a really solid finals matchup. Not to count Virginia Tech out of it yet. Before Lavelle even speaks, I know what he's going to say. Freedom J.
I'm Virginia Tech all day, man. Freedom
I know.
Dude,
I know, and it's going to cost you your job,
Virginia Tech
Lavelle.
has a good squad, generally speaking. We've seen them, like in previous tournaments, playing really well together. You know, the rules were different in March Madness in terms of like how we concluded like what the rules were in terms of like who moves on. But they played together then, and they're playing together now. I'm actually anticipating to see an upset, relatively speaking, and Virginia Tech winning match 2 to
You heard it here.
tiebreaker.
You heard it here.
It's going to be big.
I don't know about that. I mean, maybe we can make that our next daily brag coming up later today.
Hey, Ryan, if you take my job and Daniel's job, who's gonna run the company?
Well, hey,
Ryan.
I'm gonna run the company, and you know, I have the utmost faith that you guys will make great interns. So I'm not worried about the company in the very slightest.
So we are
Matt, we
getting
made
some
you
Oh, Ryan.
we are getting some updated scores, guys. So we do have scores coming in. Ohio State still at 6 for their latest confirmed kills. FSU getting confirmed updates as well. Their score is 2, so they really have to bring it. We're at 30 minutes left in the round, guys. So we still have some giveaways to do later on in the stream. We're going to be doing giveaways the rest of the night. Not only that, but you guys can still go on the website, thebraghouse.com. Fill out your daily brag, get involved, and of course, make sure you guys are mashing that follow button. Make sure you guys are showing your teams love. I think we've seen, let's see, Ryan, who do we have so far? I know we've seen Patrick Juan, who's playing later on tonight. I believe we had 1 or 2 other players, you know, already jump into the chat, just chatting like before their match later on tonight. Guys, like your teams want to see the love. They want to see you guys supporting. So don't forget to let your team know you're rooting for them. If you're an Ohio State fan, if you're FSU, make sure you're letting your guys know that you're rooting for them because they're watching. They're watching on their other monitor while they're playing right now.
Scotty, I had your back the whole time this time, Scotty. I wanted to see. I'm a sports fan, Scotty. I wanted to see us go to a game 3. The game 2, game 3. I called Ohio State. Leave me alone, Scotty. I'm trying. I'm trying, man.
Man, Lavelle.
Are you trying hard enough though?
Sometimes I
know.
forget Lavelle was a former athlete because he is everything that athletes hate. Just the most fair-weathered fan you could possibly ever ask for.
So Ryan, speaking of that though, you're a gamer. You obviously have an amazing knowledge of like how to commentate in games. People may not know, and we talked about before, that you're also an athlete. Broke tons of records at UVA. You killed it. You know, I don't want to make you blush, but you know, we spoke to someone today, and you were their team captain, and they just said nothing but great things about you. So in terms of a competition, dude, what do you think about this competition we're seeing, dude? Just in terms of an athlete.
Oh man, well you know, the biggest thing I'm gonna say, especially for a video game tournament like this one, is that it's so mental. So much of it, especially in a game where you're not competing directly against your opponent, you're just trying to outperform them in an individual game. It is really, really hard to just stay mentally tough and get after it, especially when you go down. You know, a lot of times in scenarios like this, when you don't have control over the other team's performance, it's easy to get in your own head. It's easy to start getting nervous and to try and do too much, right?
Yeah.
And we see that sometimes in these teams where they'll be down by a little bit, you know, they'll still be in it, but they'll be losing. And what they'll try and do is they'll try and just, you know, start rushing squads, going super hot drops, kind of breaking from their traditional play style and their game strategy. And they pay the price because, you know, it's not what they're used to. So the biggest thing, and we've seen both these teams do a pretty good job of this, is just, you know, staying mentally tough, not overextending, not trying to be something that they're not. Like, you know, you can't be a hero. You just got to play your role and do everything you can to secure your team with a strong performance and hopefully get the win.
Now,
And
guys,
Lakin Gaming right now, he's been showing out all day in the chat for Florida State. He is not worried about this 6-run deficit in the very slightest.
I mean, they know what they're capable of, you know?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but Ohio State, you know, they're getting close to that home run. We saw them barely miss out on 2 home runs last game that would have made all the difference in that game too, send them straight to the finals. It'll be interesting to see if they put a little bit more of a priority on getting those home runs, getting those bonus runs for their team, because they know better than any other team in this tournament, I'd say, how much home runs and grand slams, these bonus runs, can make or break your performance. And for those of you at home who are maybe unfamiliar with how we are scoring this tournament, we'll run through it real quickly one more time for you guys. Trying to incorporate the College World Series in baseball and the Call of Duty is not easy, but it's something Braghouse managed to do, and they did a great job with it. Every kill that these teams get counts as 1 run, and whatever squad has the most total runs at the end of these 45 minutes will win the game. Now, it is a best of 3, and just like in the College World Series, that's so that we know the best team is the one moving ahead every game. It's not a fluke. It's really just the most talented, highest performing team moving on. And we've also added a couple really cool, unique ways to score this tournament that reflect the College World Series. The first of that being home runs. If any of a squad lives into the top 50 players in a lobby, then their squad gets a home run, which is 2 bonus runs to their total. Now let's say that a squad lives into the top 20 players of their lobby. That home run becomes a grand slam, and instead of 2 bonus runs, they get 4 bonus runs. And we've already seen a ton of matches where home runs and grand slams have made the difference. In California versus UCLA, we saw 2 games there where a home run was the entire difference between victory and defeat. Ohio State, they've won and lost more games than we can count just by a home run.
Absolutely.
So it's been a super cool, unique way that the Braghouse has been able to incorporate college sports and esports. And, you know, hopefully we're going to continue to do this. and we can't do it without your help. We need you guys to show us that support. Throwing us a follow, throwing us a subscription. It's free if you have Twitch Prime. These are the kind of things that enable us to keep on putting on these great tournaments for you guys and keep the content coming.
Absolutely. Now, Ryan, one of the interesting things that you mentioned was like FSU has lived and died by the sword, which is home runs and grand slams. So, you know, one of the things that we've really seen FSU and UCLA, who's in our later game, you know, both utilize is that game mechanic of, you know, I think twice now we've seen FSU once just slow float in to make sure that they were, you know, one of the last ones surviving. We've also, in the last game, just a few minutes ago, we saw them also jump out of a round early because they tactically saw, you know, with the time left, they could get one more round in if they jumped out. Do you feel like, I don't feel like both of these teams, not necessarily both of these teams, but like both groups, you know, all 4 teams that are left, haven't really been thinking like the long-term strategy of like individual mechanics. We've seen a lot of strategy where, you know, both, you know, teams are working together, they're moving together through the map. We haven't seen anything like what FSU did a few minutes ago, where we left one person, you know, they left one person alive in the game, and then 2 purposeful gulag visits just to see if they could get those 2 kills because they couldn't find a team nearby to go after. You know, that game mechanic.
Let's refresh the scoreboard if we can. I'm getting an update from the back that the scores have been updated.
Boom.
We're not on the same page there. Oompa Loompas in the back. They're updating these scores for us, guys. And we're seeing it. Florida State, they're digging into that lead a little bit. Only down 5 runs now, just at the halfway point in this game. But Matt, going back to what you said, you know, I totally agree. We've seen a lot of really great team strats, but we haven't seen individual strats quite like we saw from Ohio State in that last game, where, you know, they didn't have a lot of time left, but they knew they needed some kills to try and close the gap on Florida State. So what they did is they purposely sent 2 players to the gulag to try and get some kills before time ran out, which was a really interesting strategy. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off, but that's the kind of thinking 400 IQ plays we love to see in this tournament. And we've seen a few examples of that. The thing that comes to mind the most is UCLA versus California. In the game that California won that first game, they were really close to Grand Slam territory, but they only had 1 player up. He was able to clutch his gulag match and then just sat in the air, parachuting down super slowly to just let the life totals of the lobby scroll down and down until finally they hit that Grand Slam territory. He immediately quit out of the game, got 4 runs for his squad, and they were able to get into a new game before time expired.
Absolutely.
So Florida State right now, they're going to be getting back into a new game. We've seen a lot more, or excuse me, how I should phrase this, a lot more games from them, I guess, so far today, a lot more lobbies than we typically see from them. You know, that last round, that last game, game 2, they've been, they were trying to go for like the long haul, try and get those home runs, try and get those grand slams, not really dropping hot, playing a lot more conservatively than they had been previously in the tournament, and it was working out for them. Already, I think this is the 3rd or 4th lobby that Florida State has jumped into just 25 minutes in. So
it's actually the 4th lobby for Florida State and the 3rd lobby for Ohio State.
Yes, I mean, we're seeing that for both these teams, but the fact that Ohio State, this is only their 3rd lobby and they're just now getting into it, Florida State, they've got to be, you know, it's a sign that they're struggling to connect on these kills.
Dude. Might be the nerves.
Yeah, you're definitely right. That game 3, winner take all.
And we have seen them though, like where they have, you know, a slower start and they kind of pull it out. Definitely getting kind of into crunch time, and it's definitely not the round to be having those kind of doubts or, you know, those kind of miscommunications as a team. That being said, Ohio State also has some fresh people off the bench, fresh into the game, not tired from the first one. So if it does play like into nerves at all, we have 2, you know, brand new. Actually, I'm sorry. I believe, a full lineup switch pretty much from the beginning of the tournament. So these guys have brought in, they've rotated people off the bench. You know, I know. I'm a much bigger video game fan than baseball fan, but that's a big part about baseball, right? Like that pinch hitter, like bringing in, people off the
Absolutely.
bench. So like these teams are living by those baseball mechanics. They're living by those baseball rules, and even utilizing traditional baseball team strategies to get ahead in the tournament, which I think is something that's that's going to pay off for Ohio if they can get past FSU here.
And
Yeah,
Matt, I also like, sorry about that, Ryan.
No, go ahead.
And Matt, I also like that how people adjusted to it so fast. It's become a strategy on, hey, do I go for this home run? Do I jump out? Do I get a gulag? Do I jump out this match? I love that. That's the kind of strategy we're trying to instill in these kind of games.
Yeah, and Matt, we talked about this before this game. Ohio State bringing on that sub. We were wondering if playing back-to-back games like this, these teams haven't had to do that yet in this tournament. We're wondering if playing back-to-back games would wear on these teams mentally, if maybe bringing in a new fresh player would breathe life into the team and give them the energy they needed to go the 2 hours that was required of them. And so far, it's looking like that is the case for Ohio State. And an interesting point for them, too, is the fact that Astro and KSWB, in previous rounds, they've kind of been leaning on cherries a lot to pull through and carry them to victory. We're not seeing that this game.
I think they just know that cherries wasn't there, so they're like, oh man, now we have to actually, now we have to step it up. Cherries won't carry us to victory.
No, guys, we should mention one thing. Like with all those subs, teams have the full control to decide if they want to have any subs like between different matches. But from the gamer's perspective, the more gamers they bring in, the more subs they bring in, the more people they internally will have to divide the prize if they win the tournament. So yes, for all of you watching us, we are giving the winning squad a total of $600 for winning this tournament. So we're obviously going to do a lot of more of these kind of tournaments coming up ahead. So if you want your school to be represented, if you want to play, send us an email to events@thebradcast.com, and we'll keep you updated on future events. You can follow us on social media. But getting $600 between 3 people versus getting $600 for 12 people, it's a bit of a difference when you have so many subs.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that if I were these guys, the big difference between this tournament and the last tournament is that the team mechanics have completely changed. It's all about that 3-man squad now. So I think that these guys, if I knew I had money on the line, I would be jumping into Discord calls. I would be jumping into like team reviews where you look at the footage from the day before. Money is money. So like I think that these guys have had the fortunate favor of being organized and playing together as a team, and I think that's that's great. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to be enough to beat Ohio State, but Ohio State's showing that you can come in here with just accuracy and also clean up shop. Right now, 2 of their fresh players off the bench are, I believe, outscoring. Yeah, they're outscoring 2 of the FSU players in their first game. So I think it's going to be really critical that Ohio State and FSU both kind of utilize the game mechanics and honestly just really like team strategy to figure out how to get ahead to this next round. It's such a close game right now.
Yeah, no, definitely a close game. As we're seeing, Florida State, they're catching back up. Only a 3-run deficit now for them, so they're not going quietly into the night.
And I believe that we are just a couple minutes away from doing our next giveaway, guys. So make sure you're staying tuned. Make sure you guys are having a moment to watch the chat. Make sure you're getting involved in the chat, because if you haven't already seen what we do, we call out a keyword. Once we call out that keyword, you guys are going to enter it into the chat. So it's coming up in the next couple minutes. I'm not going to tell you when. Make sure you guys stay tuned for your chance to win. And not only that, but you can double your prize money from the Bragg House by just being a follower. If you're a subscriber, that'd be awesome too, because that also helps us bring you guys more entertainment. So if you're an Amazon Prime member, subscribe for free. If not, hit that follow button, double up your prize money. We're going to be doing a giveaway here in just a couple more minutes.
And guys, as we were talking about that, been watching Ohio State closely. I have all their screens up right now. They are looking really strong. I think bringing on the sub has made a huge difference for them as a team.
They're looking surgical
maybe the
right
chemistry, maybe the chemistry was a little off or something, but they are really, really performing. They're clicking on all cylinders.
You know what I've noticed too, though, is that now they're in a downtown environment, and as you were saying earlier, Ryan, those outdoor environments, they help. Definitely like kind of get you into that immersion of a battle royale game. Like you feel like you're really like in the in the countryside, like battling it out. But in the city, I've noticed that a lot of these teams, when it comes down to the final moments, they drop into those hot spots. Ohio, this entire tournament, hasn't been afraid. I believe like 2 games ago, their favorite multiple times in a row were Store. I believe they dropped Store the entire match for their first round. This is a team that's not afraid to drop into the city and go after those high bounties, as you're seeing right now. They're going right after a bounty kill. Not really so much for the kill, but looking for a full squad walking around so they can drop them.
Yeah, and to that point, it's really interesting watching all these different players and learning their play styles. Obviously, we've been watching these guys all tournament, and we're kind of getting to the point where we can really see where every team feels the most comfortable. For Ohio State, it really seems to be those close quarter combat situations. They've struggled when they've been caught out in the open and are just relying on like their aim to clean up these squads. But when they can get the jump on these squads in close quarter situations and it's just all a battle of reflexes, Ohio State has been really, really strong.
Absolutely. And I know we were talking about it the other day too. Like we all play together, guys, too. The 4 of us got together, played a little bit of Call of Duty, and we were talking about like the team strats, how they were playing. We were definitely not nearly as good as them. But one of the things that we
speak for yourself there, Matt.
Okay, all right. I'll definitely speak for myself. I think I was the bottom fragger, but the one thing I'll say is that the team strategy really changes like day by day, or I guess not day by day, but like tournament by tournament. The last one was completely different with the March Madness. It was much more of a lone wolf style tournament representing your school. This one, it's all about the squad play. The awesome like gamification of adding the baseball elements really made it feel like a baseball tournament. We're talking about runs. We're talking about grand slams. And now, Lavelle, I'm pretty sure you said that you guys have just in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, you guys are going to be having your giant Rocket League tournament. And that's going to be soccer based. And that's going to also be an all women's tournament, not only hosted with celebrity athletes, but also completely gamed by girl gamers, which is awesome that Bragg House is going through and supporting an awesome cause. You guys are involving yourselves with community charities. You guys are getting more girl gamers onto a platform and giving them a voice to get out there. That's amazing. But can you tell me a little bit more about what made you say this is the direction for Bragg House? And in the middle of an epidemic that shut down all sports, how did you guys find that way?
I think it kind of goes back to the essence of Bragg House, and the essence of Bragg House is community, and that represents all communities, especially living in like the conditions we are right now, dude. It's important that we embrace all communities. So female gamers are an important community. So we really wanted to do a tournament for all female gamers. So we have a tournament coming up literally in 2 weeks, all female tournaments. And then we reached out to a couple of top celebrity, and these are the highest you can get in the soccer, and asked them, said, hey, you know what, do you want to support this cause? I have to say everyone reached out to said, absolutely, whatever we want to do, let's donate for charity. I don't need anything. I just want to be part of it. When you see these names, you're going to be floored. And I mean, that's the kind of stuff we want to do. Brian can tell you how much money we raised in a fraternity series that we did. And again, we just did it and donated everything to the ACLU. So we're really excited about this all-female gamers tournament coming up, and everyone should tune in for it.
So you guys heard it there first. Not only is the Bragg House all about college sports and providing that awesome community hub for everything about fandom, everything about college sports, but they're also focused on really giving back to the community, both the ACLU as well as a female charity. I believe a charity that benefits girls in the community. I really love the fact that you guys are doing that. Now, we are getting close to about 10 minutes left, guys, so we do have that giveaway coming up here in just a minute. While we're doing that, Ryan, what have you been noticing gameplay-wise, and what are you seeing from both of these teams as we get into crunch time?
Hey, guys, before that, can we please update the scores? I'm getting an update on the back end.
Right now we have 2014, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so it's already been updated.
And that being said, we have Ohio State right now. They just got into home run territory. So that's going to be 2 bonus runs for them as they lived into the top 50 players of their squad. And that's going to be huge, maintaining this distance over Florida State as they're just getting into a new, fresh game right now.
And I believe they have hit home run.
Yep.
Boom. So there we go. That is the first home run of this game. As we've already seen in a couple other rounds, that is the deciding factor in some of these. It's going to be interesting to see if that's going to be the deciding factor here.
Yeah, and the way Ohio State's playing right now, It'll be hard. It's hard to believe that these 2 bonus runs are going to make the difference when they are already looking so strong. But they're even getting close to Grand Slam territory. They have 1 player down, but he's going to be going to the Gulag. So if he can get redeployed and Ohio State can get back to a 3-man squad, they're going to be looking really, really strong heading into this top or final circles right now of this lobby.
Now, guys, we are under 10 minutes left. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do our next live giveaway. All you guys have to do is type into the chat our secret keyword. And our secret keyword on this one is going to be super, super easy. It's Brag House. So type Brag House into the chat. Make sure you're a follower, and then you're going to double up your prize. So if you haven't already followed the Brag House, make sure you guys show some love. Drop that follow. Type Brag House into the chat, and we're going to be doing a giveaway as soon as this game is over while we wait for UCLA and Virginia Tech to bring their game 2 follow-up to yesterday.
And right now, just 8.5 minutes remaining. Our Oompa Loompas in the back. They're trying to get these score updates for you. But Ohio State, I don't want to spoil anything for you as we refresh these scores. They are just running away with this game 3. They're going to be in the Gulag right now with 35 people left. But they're really close to this Grand Slam territory, get 4 bonus runs, and keep extending this lead. They're looking so strong. This is not the same Ohio State that we saw last game. I'm going to jinx them right now as I put my eyes in the Gulag. But, Ohio State, they're looking great right now. And they're looking like a team that can maybe win this whole thing, guys. If they keep this up, they'll be going to the finals. They'll be playing against the winner of UCLA and Virginia Tech. That match we have coming up right after this one at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That is UCLA, obviously my pick of the tournament. Virginia Tech, Lavelle's pick of the tournament for some reason.
Lavelle's pick
Can't
of
even
life.
think of a single reason why Lavelle would pick Virginia Tech. Not one single free reason.
The fandom is real. The fandom is real. But at this point, though, I think that all of us kind of have our own favorite team pick of this tournament. I think all of us kind of picked our own team. So that's going to make it interesting as there's 4 of us and there's 4 teams left. And we kind of move into the rest of the tournament. It's going to be interesting to see, at least for the host, who is still going to have a team in this tomorrow.
Yeah, and, I hate to say it, but Florida State, they're down 13 runs right now with 7 minutes left. I'm starting to think we might not get to see Matt shave his head.
Well, once you take over the Bragg House, if you could expense a haircut for me, because I was betting on that. So
Yeah, I'll put on the company card, don't worry.
There we go. So, guys, we are getting close to that 5-minute mark. If you haven't already followed the Bragg House, subscribed with your Amazon Prime, or type Bragg House into the chat, you're going to miss out on your opportunity to score our next giveaway 6 minutes and 30 seconds from now.
Scott's finally happy we're giving Ohio State some respect. One thing you got to know about the Bragg House is you got to earn respect here. It is not given.
Unless you subscribe.
Unless you subscribe. In which case, that's their way of earning it. I'm totally okay with that.
If you subscribe, we will fight for you and we will chat.
Lavelle is even a lawyer, so he'll represent you free of charge if you ever need it, I heard. It's a rumor on the street right now.
Now, I just want to say, guys, real quick, just letting you guys know, we have 5 minutes, 50 seconds left. We have one more game coming up after this. Ryan, you just mentioned that at Bragg House, you've got to earn that respect. Right now we have It's a Trout with 11 runs. Nick carrying 9, and KSWB with 11. All 3 of which are almost or double every single FSU player. Now, I don't think they've had a single game that has had a score not only this even between all 3 players on the team, but also where all 3 players are this high.
Yeah, the only teams that we've really seen this kind of performance out of is UCLA and California. Those were both really strong, well-rounded teams. And Ohio State, I think they got their Grand Slam there, as we speak. So that's 2 more bonus runs for Ohio State there as they extend this lead. But as I was saying, it's really been a team effort here for Ohio State. Every single player.
Ryan, check out Scotty in the chat, Ryan.
Florida State, some would call it godly loss here. I'll eat my words a little bit. But Florida State, I was saying they're a hot and cold team. And, you know, as much credit as we have to give for the team performance here from Ohio State, as every single player showed up, we also have to see, you know, Florida State, not only are their two kind of supplemental players not doing a lot, but a couple of Apple Juice, who has been one of the top performers of the tournament so far, he has not been able to get it going this game. He only has 6 runs. In that last match, I believe he had like 13 or 14. I'm not saying, obviously, that's not the entire difference, as Ohio State currently with an 18-point lead over Florida State. But, you know, it doesn't help when your best player just can't get it going in that clutch moment in Game 3.
And guys, we do have just under 4 minutes left. There's still time to put Bragg House in chat. We're going to be doing giveaways the rest of the evening. We still have one more game, possibly 2 more games. We've already seen one tiebreaker, Game 3 this evening. Are we going to see another one? If we're going to see it, you know, Freedom J, kind of in the same situation FSU was today. You know, one player really carrying the weight yesterday, really having to step up to the plate, you know, today to make sure that they continue onward. And if, you know, to be honest, if UCLA comes out swinging even half as hard as Ohio just did, it's not going to be good for Virginia Tech and the Hokies.
Yeah, and, you know, hopefully we see from Virginia Tech what we saw in Game 3 here by Ohio State, where, you know, they're not just relying on one player. They get the whole team involved. Everyone's in their groove and they perform. And, you know, we see the results. The results speak for themselves when that happens, as Ohio State currently with a 21-point lead over Florida State. This might be our most mismatched game so far of the tournament. I know Florida State had a pretty big loss to TCU's blowout performance in Game 2 of that first round. But, you know, in the semifinal, this is not something that we were expecting, especially with Ohio State subbing out their highest score from Game 2.
I know. Wild.
Hey, but you know what? Obviously, they had a strategy there. You know, I don't know. I don't think any of us can pretend to know if it was known that Tro was going to come in swinging like this. But, I mean, it worked, guys. I look at the score. They are absolutely dominating FSU right now.
I think the biggest story is honestly KSWB. He's been their least consistent performer so far this tournament, and he's coming out today. He's leading the team in runs with 12 runs. You know, obviously we've seen players with, you know, 20, 21, 22 runs so far in this tournament, but we've yet to see a player or a team all score in triple digits, like, look so strong aside from those UCLA and Cal teams that we talked about earlier.
Finishing it up with a pistol. Ohio State's still going. Now, they are literally more than double the score, still going 100% in it, still going after pistol kills because he ran out of ammo on his main gun. I mean, that's dedication. That's dedication to the competition right there.
Absolutely. No, in respect to Florida State, obviously, you know, they've been great this tournament. They've looked really, really strong. They haven't been able to get it going in this Game 3, which is, you know, really unfortunate. I love Cup of Apple Juice's name. That's my favorite name of the tournament. I'm sad to see that it will probably be going here as we reach just 70 seconds left in this match. But that being said, all props to Ohio State. Scotty, I know you're gonna you're gonna love this, but all props to Ohio State. This is a game that they earned. They earned their right to go to the finals here.
Totally, man.
And remember, guys, these finals of the Esports College World Series tournament are going to be happening tomorrow. We're going to have another. Is it best of 3 or best of 5, Daniel?
Best of 3.
All right, so another best of 3 tomorrow on Sunday.
Oh, no.
All 3 games are going to be tomorrow. So that'll be a really, really good time. We're going to be seeing Ohio State versus the winner of UCLA and Virginia Tech, which, just a reminder for you guys, we have coming up right after this, 8 p.m. Eastern time. That is going to be a super exciting game. You don't want to miss that. We'll see if UCLA is able to sweep the series against Virginia Tech and make their way to the finals, or if Virginia Tech is going to be able to force a Game 3 against UCLA.
And now, Ryan, I know that this has been, and honestly, I don't think either of us saw it coming. I don't think any of the 4 of us saw it coming. The only person who saw it coming was probably Scott in the chat. But that being said, we just all kind of got upset. I know that I believe 2 brackets just got broken, and we're moving into our last semifinal game. So that being said, do you have any predictions for the UCLA VT matchup after this?
Oh, man. So Lavelle, I know, is already going to start screaming at me after I say this, but I think UCLA, they've been just so strong, so consistent across the whole team this entire tournament. I'm going to be going with them to win this game 2 against Virginia Tech, sweep the series, and make their way to the finals where they'll be matching up against Ohio State. But that's no surprise. I've been calling out UCLA as my pick for the tournament winner, all tournament. I'm more curious to see what Lavelle will say here. I really have no idea what he's going to pick.
Drum roll,
knows?
please. The only Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech.
Yep.
And Daniel, what do you think? Are you thinking UCLA or are you thinking Virginia Tech?
I think Virginia Tech. I think UCLA. I think Virginia Tech's going to come back against this game. I mean, UCLA had a strong squad. We watched them against Cal, and that was one of the best things I've ever seen. I mean, anyone could have won. But I think, this is team sports. You sit down, you regroup. I think they're going to regroup, and they're going to come out with a different strategy.
I think one of the biggest things that we saw here today was Ohio not only used the game mechanics, they used the baseball tie-in where we instantly said, okay, you guys can do runs, you guys can do grand slams. They even used the substitution of pitch hitters off the bench to come in and guarantee that they go to the World Series. I mean, these guys are playing at the pinnacle of not only team organization but also competition. So whoever moves forward from UCLA, Virginia Tech, they're gonna have to bring the noise. And with that being said, I want to hear some noise in the chat. We had a couple people write Braghouse in, but the winner is going to be Katrina. Katrina, you won our next giveaway. So we have more giveaways in store over the course of this tournament, guys. We are not done helping you guys score some awesome Braghouse loot. You guys can easily double up your prize money by just dropping a follow, dropping a subscribe. It's super simple. It's that button right below Lavelle down there inside of the stream. Boom, he's pointing at that purple button right there. Is exactly where you guys need to click. Just drop the Braghouse a follow, and you'll be notified not only when we go live for our finals, the World Series final championship game, but you guys will also be notified when we start our Rocket League tournament in just over a week. Now, Lavelle, we have a few minutes before our next game starts. Could you tell me real quick a little bit more about the Rocket League tournament? I know it's based off soccer. I know it's involving women and girl players. This is amazing, but tell me more.
I'll say quickly, and Dan, you can get a little bit more on the rules because he's a soccer fanatic. But, pretty much we just did the community. We said, hey, you know what? What community haven't we taken care of? What community we think wasn't fit, not as represented as much? Women gamers are huge, dude. I mean, they're out there. I know we are all gamers here. But, we don't see a lot of women gamers in some of the big championships. So we said, dude, let's create something where it's all women gamers, have them show off their skills, bring that competition that Braghouse is all about. And I think what kind of melted my heart is we reached out to some, it's going to be soccer, it's going to be Rocket League. We played Rocket League, it's a lot of fun. Soccer, cars, I mean, who doesn't like that? And we reached out to some huge celebrities, huge athletes in the soccer world. And we just asked them, we said, hey, do you want to support this cause? And I guess what melted my heart is they were like, absolutely. And they were like, please sign us up. We are ready to go. So we are ready to go in 2 weeks. It's going to be a huge event. We're going to be doing some, some great interviews. We're going to be having some great guests, some good hosts. They're going to be coming. Our celebrity guests are going to come to host. It's going to be a lot of fun, Matt.
And if you guys didn't catch the March Madness bracket, I think probably the only more diehard Virginia Tech fan on that entire stream or possibly in the entire universe was our celebrity host last game. And not only that, but you guys have, I believe you said 2 or possibly more. I know you just said more than last time. You said more celebrity hosts than last time.
We have more than 2, man. We actually have we have 2 women that are heroes, heroes in my book, and they represent their countries really well nationally on a national scale. And we have some amazing talents and other professional players that literally Ryan may know some of them actually. But again, I'm just throwing out surprises. I'm not gonna spoil it.
No names yet.
It's been slight teasers. Every single stream, guys, you're getting about 2 more words out of Lavelle. As a spoiler. You're gonna have to tune in. You guys are gonna have to be here for the Rocket League tournament.
Might have a couple of countries represented during our thing. but no, seriously, it's like, while we're excited about all that, I think we're more excited about just the platform and the cause that we did. Just like the other day, we did things. We're going to be doing a lot of tournaments related to fraternities. If you've ever been in a fraternity, you just know fraternities. I was in a fraternity. It's like you kind of just know that, that loyalty and that tight knit community you have. So to be able to represent your fraternity means like the world to you. And we did that. And, again, I understand the loyal love. Ryan hosted that. And I think the classiest thing is we're trying to raise money, Matt, for like, social justice, social awareness. And dude, we are giving away prizes. All the guys in the frat, the gamers, said, hey, we don't want our prize, just donate that to the ACLU. I mean,
That's awesome.
That just blew my mind, dude.
That says a lot about the community that you guys are cultivating, like as a brand, but like more importantly, like around even the athletes themselves, like cultivating leaders, and that's something that like I'm really proud that you guys had me on your show and your tournament. So thank you for that invite. It's awesome to work alongside people who are this dedicated, A, to sportsmanship, but B, to helping and giving back. So that's powerful, man. So guys, the best way you can help Lavelle and the troops over at the Bragg House and moving their mission forward, press that follow button. If you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. It's completely free if you're already an Amazon Prime member. And guys, we have our UCLA Virginia Tech matchup coming up next. Now, Virginia Tech has Freedom J on it. Ryan, tell me, what do you think Freedom J, more importantly, what do you think Jamon and CH Anderson are going to have to do today to get Virginia Tech to pull it out?
That's a really great question. We didn't see their best performance yesterday. Freedom J has been super consistent, and the Virginia Tech team too. They didn't really have to step up that first round against Michigan. Michigan kind of, I hate to say it, but rolled over a little bit to the team that is Virginia Tech. So we didn't have to see much out of Virginia Tech in terms of team performance the first round of the tournament. And I think that showed a little bit in game one. I think that, they weren't quite as ready, as prepared as some of these other teams that all went to a game 3 in the first round and had to really fight tooth and nail to progress.
Yeah, I think that definitely.
So I'm expecting to see Virginia Tech, learn a little bit from that performance yesterday. Learn that, like, hey, we all need to step up here if we're going to have a chance of winning this thing. And perform definitely better as a team than we saw yesterday, and we know we're capable of it. They got talented players all across the board.
Absolutely.
But I'm still sticking with UCLA here. They just look so good. They look so strong. They have them hopping in the chat every now and then, just checking up on the competition. Now, these guys are competitors. They're winners, and they know what they got to do to win.
And not only that, but Virginia Tech, I think, has the strongest fan base of this entire tournament. They are crusaders that show up in the chat, led by their general, Dawson, who comes in and shows so much Virginia Tech love that there's almost nothing else visible in the chat. So, guys, if you're a UCLA fan, show them some love during this game. There is high nerves. Ryan is a huge college athlete with a proven track record of success and record set, and he said the first thing that he said out of his mouth was nerves. And guys, this is a video game tournament, so when you can't see your competition, when you're not sitting on the other side of the court or the other side of the baseball field or the dugout from them, it makes it way harder to gauge where that team's at, and you psych yourself out. So if you're a UCLA fan, I want to see some love in the chat during this next game. Guys, when your guys go live, make sure you root them on. Now, Ryan, you think... Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Matt.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, Ryan, I know he's calling out that, Virginia Tech. I think what I got out of that was Virginia Tech has to really work together as a team. Now, Lavelle, I know you are a huge fan of Freedom J. You also kind of talked to him, I believe, in 2 different interviews after the last tournament. He's a Bragg House veteran. What do you think Freedom J did today? I think he went and talked to his team and probably tried to get them pepped up. What do you think?
Dude, not only do I think that, but I've watched this guy and I just listened to him, and it's like, a lot of times we just say Freedom J, but I've listened to him, dude. Like, he motivates his team. They get there and he's encouraging. And he does it in this really calm way too. He's like, hey guys, we should always get motivated. But they're such a team, man, and we have to give their whole team credit. You know, it's not just Freedom J. Obviously, he's an amazing player. We had him on. I'm the biggest Freedom J fan, but they're definitely a team. So I think he motivates his team. I think everyone steps up, and I'm calling the VT Dove.
There we go. There we go. Now, Daniel, you are a very level-headed person. Virginia Tech, UCLA, I think you don't have any bias to this. Who are you calling out? Based off the data, based off the numbers, what you've seen so far.
So, I honestly think that Ryan's point is 100% accurate. I think that VT had almost perhaps too much of an easy first round of 8 versus Michigan, where they felt like they don't have to push the paddle really hard to just go through, and that one last match that they played versus the other teams that had 3 matches, kind of playing against them for the first round against UCLA. I do not think it's going to be as easy for UCLA to win match number 2. I do think we're going to go to a tiebreaker at 9 p.m. That's my prediction for this match.
Okay.
Hold it, Daniel.
That is a data-backed analysis.
Hold it,
right
Daniel.
There. Oh yeah, call it. Do you want to say a spread with it? Do you want to give a spread? Now, guys, the brag house again. You know, you guys are probably asking, what's the brag part? So the brag house is all about bragging with friends. It's all about connecting with people in your community, athletes. We do college athlete interviews. They come on the stream, talk about the competition, post, pre-game. We have celebrity pro athlete hosts. Lots of cool things about the brag house. But at its core, what is the brag house about? It's about bragging with your friends. So what we're gonna do is for our next game, we're gonna do our daily brag live on the air, and it's going to be, what team do you think is going to win, Virginia Tech or UCLA? You guys write it in the chat, and we're going to pick somebody that calls out the correct answer to be our winner during our next match. Arbeck, quick with the UCLA, dropping the love.
Yeah, I know what I'm feeling, and I've stuck with UCLA so far this tournament. I can't back off now. I'm banking on them earning me the title of CEO of the Brag House. For those of you guys who weren't here earlier, Lavelle and I have a little bet going on. If Virginia Tech wins the Esports College World Series tournament, I give him my dearest friend, Squirtle here. And then, of course, if UCLA wins the tournament, I get his job. So a very even.
So you're very invested. You're very invested.
I am very invested. Yeah, absolutely. Fresh there, and for shooting Juan, we have 2 of our UCLA players in the chat. They know who they're picking for this daily brag. They're going to sweep the series.
Waz, we see you in the chat. Waz, can you join the game? I mean, we have plenty of other games, man. Please reach out to us if anyone's actually interested in representing their school to come and join.
And one of the big things that I really want to mention is that you guys reach out to these players. You guys reach out to the schools. That's how a lot of the improvements came between our last tournament and then this one. Was you guys just really listened to your competitor feedback, or not your competition athletes. You guys listened to a lot of team feedback. You guys listened to a lot of feedback from the community. And that's how you guys kind of built out all the rule sets for this next one, which I thought was, that's really cool that you guys were willing and so able to listen, adapt, implement something new and even more competitive.
Hey, Portly, shout out to him calling us geniuses in the chat. Someone knows how to suck up to the announcers. Maybe it'll help you in that raffle we're doing later.
I like to say that we actually reward witty comments that are respectful. Please talk that trash. Please make the other person from the other school feel just as dumb, but do it in a respectful way, and you will get our full support for talking trash.
So, Wasa, what colleges are involved? This match coming up right now, we have our second semifinal of the day. It is UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, versus Virginia Polytechnic Institute, VPI, as they love to be called. And this is our second semifinal. For those of you guys that missed it, in our first semifinal that started at 6 p.m., Ohio State versus Florida State. Ohio State won the series 2-1. They had to go to a game 3, very tight series, and great gameplay from both teams. But Ohio State, they ended up winning. We're gonna be seeing them in the finals taking place tomorrow. Daniel, tell us a little about these finals tomorrow. What time are they at?
Yeah, sure. Before I get into that, let's make sure that our timer for 45 minutes is set to go in a minute from now at 8 p.m. sharp. And the teams have got the green light to load into their first lobby. The final tomorrow starts, I believe, at 5 p.m. The match number 1. Match number 2 will be at 6 p.m. And if need be, the tiebreaker match will be at 7 p.m. Eastern. So we're super excited to see which team will face Ohio State at the College World Series baseball esports final. I honestly think we're gonna go to a tiebreaker at 9 p.m. Eastern today between UCLA and Virginia Tech. So I honestly have no clue who's gonna win the match number 3 if we go to one. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's jump into UCLA right now, who is jumping into their first match. They have 41 seconds left until their official drop-in.
Yeah, a little technical difficulties from the Virginia Tech side. Our Oompa Loompas in the back are going to be working on that. But it looks like we're going to get them back up here really quickly. Guys, maybe my MVP of the tournament so far, Fresh Fart from UCLA. He has been just absolutely crushing it every single game. I know yesterday we saw a really strong game from Protruding Wand as well for UCLA. And, you know, Cam, no slouch, you know, a gamer in his own right. This is just such a deep team that it's hard for me to root against them. Obviously, you know, I want Lavelle's job. But at the same time, you know, I'd be down to see a game 3 tonight. I'd be down to see that happen. So I'm a little bit torn on who to root for, but
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, guys, I do know that we have Freedom J jumping into his first match too. Let's go ahead and jump over there. I want to see what they're doing. They're also jumping just into their first one. They have about 15, or it looks like about 10 seconds left. They're just now jumping into the plane, so it's going to be their first jump. It's going to be, I think, a lot of nerves, as Ryan said, as Daniel agreed. I think it's going to really come down to who is more organized with their squad right now, and we already know that Freedom J can pull it out for the big win.
all right. And as we see UCLA dropping in, they're going to be going to Boneyard. They really, really love this Boneyard location. Meanwhile, for Freedom J and Virginia Tech, it looks like they're thinking military base right now. They've been going there very frequently as well.
Now, both teams absolutely need to win this. We could go to a game 3. It would be our third game 3 of the entire tournament if they end up going that direction. I don't think either team is looking forward to that or wants that to happen. I think both of these teams are highly competitive. Fresh really brings it. Protruding Wand doing research earlier today, even seeing what the competition looks like on the other side of the bracket. Meanwhile, Freedom J, I think he really had to adapt after yesterday and hopefully reorganize his troops. We're going to see how that takes hold and if they can pull out a W as we get through the rest of this match. And guys, we still have more giveaways, guys. There's going to be more giveaways over the course of the stream and over the course of the tournament. If there's one thing the Bragg House loves to do, apparently it is endorse Virginia Tech and Freedom J and then give away stuff to its fans.
And Time Ram Scrappy, thank you guys so much for the follow. You know, your follows and subscriptions are what allow us to keep putting on tournaments like this in a whole plethora of games. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Hearthstone, Valorant, Rocket League. We got that tournament coming up. So make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, turn our notifications on so you know when we're live and putting on these tournaments for you guys. We love putting out this content. It's a ton of fun for us, and we love seeing how it engages the community. So keep showing us that support, and we love having you guys here, and keep tuning in, keep watching.
Absolutely, absolutely. And guys, don't forget, we do have another tournament coming up. Right after this one, we're going to be going right into the Rocket League one in just under a week. So guys, make sure you guys check back on the website. thebraghouse.com. That's where you can still fill out daily brags, as well as check back to make sure you guys get into the bracket for the soccer tournament. As Lavelle said, it's going to be huge.
Yeah, and guys, protruding Juan here off to a hot start for UCLA. I think he's got 2 early runs, but Fresh, he's going to be sent to the gulag, and he's not gonna get that clutch gulag kill, which is a different sight than we've seen from him throughout this tournament. UCLA, maybe the part of their game they've been strongest in is their gulag performances, and those gulags are so huge. Not only getting the free redeployment, but also getting that run for your team in clutch scenarios. So it'll be interesting to see if UCLA can't keep up their gulag performance, if they'll be able to have the same dominating performance that they did yesterday. And here we have protruding Wand crashing his helicopter now too.
And it looks like protruding Wand is honestly like it seems like a really serious player. I don't know if he's going to lead the pack today, but he seems like he's definitely competitive. He is sitting there like going into other people's games, trying to see. It reminds me of a specific player from our last tournament, Alex, who really went above and beyond to like make sure that he was doing as much recon as he could, making sure he was getting ready. It's gonna be interesting to see if protruding can kind of run the pack as we watch him over the next couple of games.
Yeah, and UCLA, they're off to kind of getting back on track. They're gonna get a loadout drop and redeploy Fresh here. So that right there is one of their really good players back in the game. And they all got their custom loadouts right now, so they're in a great position. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech, they have 2 players out right now, not being able to pull through in the gulag. So it's going to be all up to Jack Mont here for Virginia Tech to try and get some kills here. It looks like he's going to be going after one of these bounty contracts. So a strong play here. I definitely think this is a good idea. Try and get some kills before he backs out of this lobby and rejoins the squad to try and get into a new one.
And guys, real quick, if you're just now joining us, if you're just now coming in as a UCLA or Virginia Tech fan, Waziger, you asked in the chat, what is this? This is the first ever Bragg House World Series of Baseball Esports Edition tournament. So what we did is, because college sports got canceled this year, out of everybody's control, we know. Well, Bragg House wanted to make that not happen. So they came up with an awesome hybrid model, bringing everything you love about college baseball and the World Series tournament into the esports digital arena, where we can safely enjoy our favorite teams from home. And Ryan, you did an awesome job of explaining exactly how the rules work for this tournament. Can you break it down for us real quick while we have a few minutes?
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's not easy combining baseball and Call of Duty, but the guys over at the Bragg House, they found a way to do it through a number of ways. The first is every single kill that one of these players gets counts as a run. And those runs go towards, your team's total. And whatever team has the most runs at the end of this 45-minute period will win the game. And you can get runs from kills, but that's not the only way. We also have home runs and grand slams. And what that is if any player of a squad lives into the top 50 players in the lobby, their whole squad is going to get a home run. And that's 2 bonus runs added to the squad's total. Now, if any of those players live into the top 20 members of a lobby, then that home run becomes a grand slam. And instead of 2 bonus runs, they get 4 bonus runs. And guys, these bonus runs, these grand slams and home runs have been pivotal throughout this entire tournament in dictating games. We've seen already a game today, the game 2 between Ohio State and Florida State, decided by 1 home run. Florida State had a home run, gave them 2 bonus runs, and the 2-run advantage they needed to beat Ohio State.
In fact, UCLA is only in this match because the awesome tactical advantage they took by utilizing like slow float-ins, leaving one person alive hidden just to make sure that they survived until they got that grand slam and that home run. UCLA wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for those game mechanics and their utilization of them.
Yeah, absolutely. UCLA had a really tough first-round matchup against California, who, in my opinion, was one of the strongest teams in this tournament. And they were able to pull out the win because of their utility in getting those home runs, getting those grand slams. Because in these games, only 45 minutes, 2 very talented teams, every single run counts. Every single run makes a big difference. So it's really important that these teams utilize those bonus runs to get any advantage that they can.
Absolutely.
And UCLA here looks like their squad is going to go down, but they have 2 members being sent to the Gulag. It'll be big if they can win these 2 Gulag matches, because they're not too far off from home run territory. The first home run of the day, just 12 minutes in.
Absolutely. And, you know, UCLA is not afraid of these gulags. They do a good job of connecting. And now, I know, Ryan, you just said that it really comes down to the runs. That seems like a good segue into where we're at right now, which is UCLA leading by 4, 6-2 over Virginia Tech. Now, Fresh, who has carried this team the entire tournament as the top scorer, I believe, protruding Juan now coming out 4, leading the pack, while both other players have 1 point each.
Yeah, and protruding Wand, he's been also a very, very strong player for UCLA. Fresh leading the pack, but Wand not too far behind. And he's already off to a hot start, and he wins his Gulag match right there, too. So he's going to be getting sent back in to represent UCLA as he drops on his loadout drop. You know, and a hot start from UCLA. 6 runs, obviously not the most runs we've seen in the first 10 minutes of a game. But, you know, they're doing what they need to do right now to get ahead of Virginia Tech and really put the pressure on them, kind of put their foot to their throat.
So we got all types of people typing in the chat. Let's see. So Skittles, you're letting Waza know it's an esports tournament. Thanks for helping out, guys. If anyone has any questions about the tournament, about the you know way we do our tournaments, the next tournament coming up, feel free to ask us in the chat. More importantly, make sure you show love to your team, guys. UCLA has players that literally right before this, 2 of their players were in the chat checking out what everyone was writing, checking out what the competition was doing. Make sure you guys show that love, man. Make sure you guys show that love.
Yeah, and hey, Schizo, thank you so much for the follow. We really appreciate it. You know, your follows and your subscriptions are what enable us to keep putting on these tournaments for you guys. So.
And Ryan, I know people have asked and they said, you know, what is this? What's going on? People representing, we're just the casual gamers over here representing our school, wanting to play. You know, there's a world for us now. So
yeah, and guys, if you're seeing this and you're like, oh man, how do we get involved? Make sure you send an email over to events@thebraghouse. And what we'll do is we'll get back to you. We'll throw you all kinds of information about tournaments we have coming up and how you and your school can get involved. And that's not all. You can also follow us on social media. If you do !social in the chat, our Instagram and Twitter will both pop up. Throw us a follow on those, and we post information about our tournaments all the time over there, so you guys can stay up to date, know when to tune in and watch, and know when and where to sign up and participate, so you guys can be in the next tournament that we put on.
And more importantly,
sorry, Matt. I was gonna let him know that we fight for people that subscribe, Matt.
Absolutely, absolutely. We will show up at your house, in your schoolyard, the local gym. You let us know, we'll be there. All you gotta do is hit that subscribe button with your free Amazon Prime button. So if you're an Amazon Prime member, which, I mean, let's be honest, it's 2020. Everybody's an Amazon Prime subscriber. All you gotta do is go down there and hit that subscribe button, and you're gonna be allowed to subscribe to our channel for free as an Amazon Prime member. So make sure you guys hit that button. If you're not an Amazon Prime customer, you should probably get Amazon. But if you don't get Amazon, you can still follow us and get notified anytime we go live right in your email inbox. As well, as Ryan said, make sure you follow us on Facebook. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, because that's where you're going to see the most up-to-date news, not just with esports, but everything college sports related that the Bragg House is about.
Yeah, Lavelle, tell the fans here a little bit about Bragg House, not from an esports perspective, because I know we got plenty of just college sports fans in the chat right now repping.
Yo, and I think one of those, Vic, we see you. Hey! So we, Bragg House is literally all about the community, creating a community around college sports. I mean, hopefully like you guys, I'm a huge college sports fan. You see people here repping their school. We want to bring that community together. We're doing this. People got gamers representing Virginia Tech, gamers representing UCLA. If you hear their streams, they come at it for this competition. That's what we're all about, is to make sure that we're bringing this competition and about bringing the community here. So that's why we want to encourage people. We also want to listen to you guys, man. If there's something that we're not doing, you know, let us know. Somewhere you wanted some other games we're playing, please let us know. We have Valorant coming up. We have so many different things that we want to do. So
Yeah,
Brad,
man,
all
Valorant.
opportunity.
Valorant is something I am super excited about. I've been playing that a lot on my own personal stream, and man, it is a good time. I cannot wait to get these tournaments up and running for you guys so you can represent your school.
And Valorant is like, it's such a hot new game that just came out. It literally just left beta for full release like a week ago. You guys were also at the forefront of March Madness as Warzone just came out. So you guys aren't just like leaning into, esports. You guys are really trying to lean into the bleeding edge of competition and where all the players are going.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to thank Devin Daredevil for that follow. We appreciate that. But yeah, no, we started with March Madness, and it's been, we just try to listen to the people, Matt. People don't know, we met Ryan actually. He's one of the gamers, came through hard from his school. He's also a star athlete that graduated from his alma mater at UVA. So he's an athlete, fierce competitor in many ways. And we're just so proud to have him, as we bring the Bragg House family. Matt, you've been gaming for a minute, and we're always happy that you're part of our family, dude.
Oh, absolutely, man. Well, anytime I see something like this, like where I see something like innovative and kind of like cutting directly outside of the box to find new space, I want to be a part of that. So I appreciate the invite, guys. Again, the credit's all Bragg House. You guys came up with an amazing, amazing pivot when the world threw a curveball, no pun intended, and you guys hit it out of the park with this tournament. Now, there is a Rocket League tournament coming up in a week where you guys are going to be able to enter the bracket and score some ridiculously sweet cash, but right now we're doing some giveaways. So over the course of the rest of this match and tournament, the Bragg House is doing all types of giveaways for the fans, guys. So the easiest way that you guys can make sure you're winning, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe. You guys double up the prize money as you win. And once we announce what the word is for the game, you guys, all you have to do is just type into the chat, and that's how you enter to win. We made it super easy for you guys. The quickest way you'll probably ever score free cash, to be honest with you, hopefully. All you guys have to do is be ready, and when we announce that, you guys just enter into the chat for your chance to win, and make sure that you guys are ready, because this one is going to be our last match of the night, unless something crazy happens and we get a second game 3, which...
The scores are close, man. The scores are close. Daniel had to go step off to take care of a couple of things with backhand with the operation. He had to whip those Oompa Loompas together and make sure they're working hard enough now. But we're still live. They're sending us live the scores of things. So whenever we get updates though, Ryan will call them out ASAP so people know, and then we'll try to update the stream. But we're gonna bring everything real.
We just got another update right now. UCLA, they're only up 2 runs right now over Virginia Tech. Booting, we see some questions in the chat. Booting, we see you. This is Call of Duty Warzone right now, the Battle Royale mode in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And we have a bunch of teams competing off Marty. We have right now UCLA and Virginia Tech. This is our second semifinal of the day. In our first semifinal, Ohio State beat Florida State 2-1 in the best of 3 series. So Ohio State is going to be moving on to our finals. In terms of the entire tournament, we've had a ton of teams showing up, repping their schools. We've had Ohio State, Florida State, TCU, Michigan State, Michigan, UCLA, California, Virginia Tech, UVA, a bunch of teams coming out and showing out, representing their schools, putting it all on the line in this esports Call of Duty College World Series, all the names thrown together, tournament.
Now, it's not just the World Series tournament. I want to make sure that everyone at home knows that there are a lot of schools here. As Ryan just said, to answer your question, Offer, there's a lot of schools here, but more importantly, we want to get more schools involved. So if you guys want to get your college involved in the next tournament, we have a Rocket League tournament coming up. As Ryan said, there's Valorant tournaments coming up. No matter what game you're playing, if you and your friends are playing it, we're probably hosting a tournament for it already or planning it. So make sure you guys reach out to us at events@thebragghouse.com, and you guys can get your team and your school all inside of the Bragg House and competing for some awesome, awesome cash. But more importantly for you guys, that's school pride to show that your school is number 1.
Yeah, and guys, we're seeing Virginia Tech. They're hanging right here with UCLA. They're actually going to take a lead. It looks like Freedom J has been popping off. And the biggest thing, too, for Virginia Tech is, like we said pre-game, we needed to see more of a team performance from them. they're getting that right now. Jamon's got 5 runs already. Chanderson has 1 thrown in, adding that to the total. And 20 minutes into game 2, UCLA, you know, they might have to start sweating a little bit down early.
Now, I don't think UCLA is really going to be that worried about sweating. I know that Freedom J, born to sweat, born to win. He's already done it in our March Madness tournament. And more importantly, his team looks like they're showing up today too, especially Jamon, who right now has 5 runs. Freedom J leading the pack with 9. C.H. Anderson on the board today with 1 run as of right now. As of right now, 0 home runs and grand slams for Virginia Tech. UCLA does have 1. But again, they're going to have to now catch up. So that can be a deciding factor. UCLA has already used the game mechanic, the grand slams, and the home runs to move forward in this tournament once. And I don't have any issue with thinking that they're happy to do it again.
Katrina, I also know
UCLA, they had a great opportunity there with only 35 people left to go for that grand slam. But they're going to get dropped there. They can't get the thirst either. So leaving some runs on the board, unfortunately.
And you know that's definitely not what you want to see when you're down. But UCLA definitely, I think they're kind of like FSU in the regard of, you know, that last 10 to 13 minutes are really where they take off. You know, I know that I believe Daniel or Lavelle mentioned it last game. You know, that 10 to 15 minute mark is really where they really just start laying down the fire. Virginia Tech kind of like they're slow and steady. They bring it the entire match. They slowly ramp it up too, but they start off out of the gate I think much stronger. So it's gonna be interesting to see how both teams handle the next 22 minutes.
Boys finally came into play now.
Yeah, Colorado VT finally coming. We've been missing him.
Hot White Feet. We definitely like the name. You know what? If these players suck, please represent your school. And I can't talk. You got to prove it. But
Freedom J right now, he's looking so strong for Virginia Tech. Sorry, LeBron, I didn't mean to cut you off there,
worries,
but
dude. No worries.
I just want to point out he has been balling out so far in this match. He's doesn't want to go home. He wants to force that game 3 later tonight at 9.
We want to see it too.
Yeah, we want to see it too. We want the competition. Right now, I have to go get a haircut tomorrow, so I'm already like disgruntled. I might as well see 2 other teams battle it out and show me some competition since my Knowles didn't bring it for me.
Virginia Tech wants me to keep my job. That's the
they don't want to see you lose your CEO position right after getting it.
By the way, I think Ryan would be a great CEO.
Already preparing. See that is tactical. That is competitive. Lavelle's preparing for his new boss.
Yeah, he's getting in my good graces for when UCLA pulls this one out. And UCLA, they're finally going to be getting back into a game here. Really losing some valuable time. Our Oompa Loompas behind the scene, they're going to update the scores for us real quickly. But it's looking like Virginia Tech really taking control of this game. We're refreshing the scores for you right now. 20-13. Virginia Tech with their biggest lead of the series so far. A 7-run lead, and they're also getting close to that home run territory too.
And guys, the home runs and the grand slams really that is what it comes down to, in my opinion. You know, we've seen it in the Cal UCLA game, we've seen it in the FSU's games. It's really a deciding factor, and for a lot of these teams, you know, we've seen teams move forward. I don't think a single team is still in the tournament that hasn't been playing that mechanic to the fullest. UCLA, in my opinion, the captains of it. They really, I've seen them slow float. I've seen them jump out early. I've seen them slowly roll into an area to try to live longer. They know what they're doing. So if anybody can come back from a 20-13, it's UCLA.
Wow, and Virginia Tech right there, they just got a squad wipe, so that'll be another 3 runs added to their total. They are performing. They're really just performing here. I don't have any other words to say. They heard our criticism yesterday, and they were tired of it. They're sick of it. They're like, you know what, we gotta shut these guys up.
Let me keep my job. I've always supported you guys. There's room in the brag house always.
Nobody will ever question. Like you could call me into court and ask me if you represent Virginia Tech, and I would say he probably has a Freedom J tattoo somewhere. I don't know.
Somewhere on his body.
Somewhere
I
on
don't
his
want
body.
to know where.
But honestly, guys, Virginia Tech is an awesome school. As you know, Lavelle mentioned earlier, they did win our March Madness tournament. So Freedom J led Virginia Tech to victory. I have no doubt that they can do it again, but they are up against one of our most tactical teams in the tournament. No doubt, two of I think our highest skilled teams in the entire tournament. And today it's really cool to see Virginia Tech a little more organized. Yesterday, we know the skill that they have, but I think the organization, the luck of yesterday's matches just wasn't there for them. Today, it looks like they are much, much more honed in.
Yeah, and right now, Virginia Tech in a little bit of a pickle. Freedom J's going to go down, so it's up to Jamon right now, and he's playing it real safe. He's watching that door, trying to, it looks like, just stay alive to get that home run. Meanwhile, UCLA, they're taking it old school. They're using those pistols and beating people's heads in to get their runs, and they're back in the game. They're not ready to go to this game 3. They want to close the series out. They know how dangerous a team like Virginia Tech can be. So the sooner that they can put this one behind them and get to the finals, in their opinion, the better. And that's a squad wipe for UCLA there too. It looks like they're starting to heat up a little bit.
Well, we do have 20 minutes left, Ryan. So under 20 minutes left, 18 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. Not only that, but the Virginia Tech tailgate party has showed up to the chat. Dawson has arrived. Not only that, but if you look at half our chat, guys, it's all Hokies love. It's all Virginia Tech love. If we got some UCLA love, Dig's showing love to UCLA. If we got some more UCLA love, let's see it in the chat, guys. Let's bring it. We need to show some support. Virginia Tech is drowning you guys out in that chat room.
Yeah, and Seti, if you guys are interested in participating in any of our tournaments, we're putting on a ton. We have a bunch lined up coming up in the future. All you got to do, follow us on social media. Follow us on Instagram, on Twitter. You can type !social in the chat, and those will pop up for you guys. But follow us there, and it'll tell you, we'll give you all the information you need when tournaments are coming up, how to register for them, when to go tune into our channel, watch live. And that being said, throw us a follow while you're at it. If you have Amazon Prime, you can throw us a free subscription. That will let you guys know when we are online streaming these tournaments for you. And it also shows us that you guys like the content and help support us. The only reason we're able to put on these tournaments for you guys is because of your support. So definitely show us that support. Throw us a follow, throw us a sub, and hopefully we'll be able to keep putting on these really, really great tournaments for you guys.
Now, I know right now it is crunch time for both of these teams. Virginia Tech finally kind of rolling up. As we discussed, guys, they start a little bit stronger. It's a slow roll, but it gets to a thunderous roar. UCLA also kind of turning up. They usually get it going right around 15 minutes left, 13 minutes left. We do have just a little over 1/3 of this match left, guys, and it is not over yet. It is still close. Both of these teams completely capable of dropping 10 kills, 8 kills, with grand slams and home runs thrown into the equation, easily 8 to 10 points each in just a few minutes. So we have 16 minutes left to see what's going to happen and what Fresh, Protruding, and Camp can do to bring UCLA back up and secure the win.
Yeah, and guys, Virginia Tech right now, they have 52 people left in their lobby, 51 now. They're just 1 kill away from reaching that home run territory, getting themselves 2 bonus runs. It looks like they've been just kind of relying on Jamon right now to stay alive, get those bonus runs, and they're going to hit it right here. Jamon top 50 for Virginia Tech, so that's a home run for them, their first home run of the game, and that's another 2 bonus runs added to their squad's total.
Now, Virginia Tech is using the strats. I noticed that, Jamon was playing a little bit slower a few minutes ago, definitely playing for that time. Now he's reviving the crew back in. So it's going to be really interesting to see if they can go for that grand slam now and get an even bigger spread.
This is huge for Virginia Tech. Having 2 people in the squad alive, especially one being as talented as Freedom J, this is going to be a difference maker in this lobby. And, with only 19 kills to go before they, 30 kills to go before they reach Grand Slam territory, it'll be interesting to see what their play is here.
Now, Nosy, you're asking what game is this? This is Call of Duty Warzone. If you haven't played this before, that's fine. It is one of the hottest new games out, and the Bragg House is bringing you an esports tournament completely wrapped around college baseball for you guys to enjoy. So thanks for joining us. If you're just now joining us, make sure you hit that follow button. Loth in the chat asking, what's our biggest Switch goal? Lavelle, I'm sure that you can take this away, but I would say that the Bragg House really just wants to grow your college sports presence. But what is your biggest Twitch goal? What is your biggest goal for the Bragg House, Lavelle, so we can answer Loft's question in chat?
I think you said it, Matt. We're trying to bring that huge college passion to esports. And you can see it here. These people are repping hard for their schools, going at it. So to grow that community, that's our biggest thing, dude. That's what we love to do, Loft.
Yeah, we love seeing you guys come in, rep your schools, talk some trash, and really show up for these guys that are participating, putting their livelihoods on the line, trying to bring home Esports College World Series tournament title to their schools.
And this would be Virginia Tech's second one too, so they have a little bit of proving grounds to kind of represent here. You know, they already brought home one trophy this year. Can they bring home another Bragg House series in the same year? That would be really impressive, and it would definitely set a tone for the Bragg House esports scene.
Yeah, let them know that Virginia Tech not a team to be messed with.
It is always. I'm sorry about that, Ryan. It is. I was gonna say it is always hard to defend a title, dude. It is always hard. Everyone is coming for the title.
Absolutely. Oh, and UCLA, fresh right there with a clutch team wipe to save both of his teammates. They'll be getting revived right now.
Double revive.
Just like that, they're in a really strong position in this game, approaching that home run territory. They're going to need these bonus runs to cut into this lead that Virginia Tech has right now.
And really, yesterday Virginia Tech led by Freedom J, top fragger by far. Today, Jamon is right there with him, contending for top frag. They're going back and forth right now. Freedom J holding down Virginia Tech, 12 runs. Jamon with 11, Seach Anderson with 2 for a total team lead of 27-17 over UCLA.
Yeah, and Virginia Tech, 38 people left in their lobby. If they can get into the top 20, that's a grand slam. That's 2 more bonus runs for their squad.
Now, guys, we do have just over 10 minutes left. We're at 12 minutes, 24 seconds. So in the next couple of minutes, we will be doing another Bragg House giveaway. So if you guys remember, the live brag for this game is what team did you think was going to win? Not that many people entered, so we're going to go ahead and do another live brag. This time, Lavelle, you go ahead, you choose the word. You're the king of the Bragg House. What is going to be our live word for our next giveaway?
I got a great word. You type this word in the chat, and we're giving away a prize. CEO.
CEO. So what you guys have to type into the chat is what is on the line for Ryan and Lavelle's daily brag. Type CEO in the chat for the channel. Molnician in the stream asking where else does the Bragg House hold it down? Everywhere. Not only can you go on the braghouse.com and find a whole social scene where you and your friends can sign up, interact, and talk, but we're also present on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Anywhere you search the Bragg House, you'll find us for sure. But if you're looking for esports content, if you're trying to find the esports hub, you can find us right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/BraggHouse, where we're going to be bringing you guys all the colleges that you guys know and love in a brand new way, the esports arenas.
And guys, make sure you throw us that follow us and turn our notifications on. That way you'll know every time we are online streaming these tournaments. You can tune in, watch, cheer on your school, or even talk trash about the schools you don't really care about. It's always a good time too.
Yeah, we definitely got Colorado showing their feelings inside of the chat, saying screw UCLA. That's a hardcore VT fan. Guys, that's what the Bragg House is all about. It's about that competitive nature, the religious fandom, and who is your school. Everyone has their school. Everyone has, maybe it's a family member school. Maybe, you're an alum. Maybe you're a student. Maybe you're thinking about going to that university and you're just from the hometown. Regardless, everyone has a team that they love. My team, unfortunately, already out, but my hair is protected. Lavelle's team, Virginia Tech, still in it with 10 minutes left, leading still, 27 points on the board. No sign of stopping if they can get revived here. Now, Ryan, what are you seeing from both of these teams?
Yeah, so right now, Virginia Tech, they only had 6 people left in their lobby before they hit that grand slam, but they're going to get taken out here. A really productive game for them, getting 25 runs in that game alone. So huge for them, but sad that they're leaving points on the board, not able to get that grand slam. Meanwhile, UCLA, they're quickly approaching that home run mark. and they're ready with just under 10 minutes remaining to cut into this Virginia Tech lead. They have the opportunity right now, down only 7 runs. 7 runs for a team like UCLA, that could be made up in 2 minutes. So this game is by no means over. Ofect Felony, why do we stream? Well, we stream to give you guys this awesome college esports content. You know, with coronavirus right now, we don't really have any college sports going on, not even any really professional sports. So us guys over here at Bragg House, we're trying to fill that void for y'all. We're trying to implement everything we can with college sports and esports together. That's why in replacement of the College World Series, we at Bragg House have decided to throw the hashtag esports College World Series now with all of these teams showing out for their school, trying to bring the trophy home for their university. Right now, we are on the second semifinal of the day, Virginia Tech versus UCLA. For those of you guys who might be joining us late, UCLA currently has a 1-0 game lead in a best-of-3. But they're down right now. They're down 7 runs to Virginia Tech. So we could be seeing a game 3 after this at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
And guys,
if that is the case, you don't want to miss it.
Yeah, if we do go to that game 3, guys, it's going to come up right after this. Literally no breaks. Both teams are going to stay in. They're probably going to take a few minutes to recollect, regroup. We like to allow the teams just a few seconds to kind of regroup, strategize for their overtime. But that game will be coming to you right after this one. So make sure you guys are staying tuned. Make sure you guys are staying involved. Oh my God.
Wow.
UCLA dropping the fire in the middle of the street.
Oh my gosh.
C4.
UCLA. Not only did Fresh hit a dirty snipe just seconds before, but then he gets that C4 on the ATV to get some more runs. UCLA, you know, it's like I said.
All of a sudden back in this.
Yeah, they like to pick it up when the going gets tough, and here they are, it's still down 8 runs. They're not ready to go to a game 3. They want to end this series in 2 games and move on to the finals. They have finals of their own to study for back at school right now. So UCLA, this is the kind of performance we're more used to seeing from them here in the last 10 minutes or so.
Absolutely, and protruding is definitely taking it up a little bit more. Just to dive into the individual team stats, guys, we love showing you guys the dual scoreboards so you can see what each player is bringing. Protruding is really holding it up there with Fresh right now. Camp is also trying to get up there. 3 kills is definitely, you know, it's adding to the team. Meanwhile, Freedom J and J-Mon, 14 and 11 respectively. It is absolutely a runaway with Freedom J right now. And when he gets in this Freedom J, when he turns into this Freedom J, there's not a lot you can do. There's not a lot you can do. He just
that
goes.
being said, UCLA, they get another run, and they just got a home run, too. They are on a tear right now. They're just racking up points left and right. Fresh is just wiped a whole squad by himself on a rooftop. This is insane gameplay we're seeing right now from UCLA. They're really picking up. They've found their groove of 40 minutes into this match.
And guys, we have 6 minutes, 30 seconds left to decide if we're going into a game 3. There's a lot on the line for both of these teams. More importantly, there's brackets on the line. Apps316 calling out that he has a perfect bracket in the chat. Dawson saying he has a perfect bracket so far too. It looks like a few people are saying that they have strong brackets still at this point in the tournament. I don't. I had FSU, as you guys all know. I'm pretty sure we know who Lavelle's choosing to win. Now,
everyone should know who I'm choosing to win.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I don't think anybody would possibly.
I think we also, people are asking too, that we do brackets, and the brackets means that you guys get a chance to actually win money. Literally, just win money and prizes just by predicting who's going to be the best gamer here as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Fast Sketch saying, what a tourney, dude. We appreciate that, man. This is what it's all about. It's about doing it for you guys. You know, like, we love watching lawnmower racing on ESPN. No, we're kidding. We actually hate it, and we miss sports. We miss sports so much. We've tried to figure out how to solve the problem. And the Bragg House came up with an innovative concept where we tied baseball, soccer, basketball. They are hitting every single college sport. If your team has any presence in that team sport, great. Come rep your school. If it doesn't, you guys can still get involved. You can still rep your school by being an esports team. Just email us at events at the Bragg House. We have 5 minutes, 6 seconds left on the clock. Ryan, what are you thinking is going to take place?
Well, you know, Virginia Tech Freedom J just got sent to the Gulag. He lost his Gulag match. So right now it's up to the 2 surviving members of Virginia Tech, one in the Gulag, one in the game still, to try and perform and hold off UCLA as they're on an absolute tear right now. It is crazy to see. Dawson in the chat. OSU did win. They won 2-1.
UCLA dropping snipes.
Yeah, UCLA. Wow.
Now this was Fresh's
some
approach
down there,
yesterday
too.
too, man. He got those final kills. I believe. Oh, there we go. Eliminated. I think. I
Yeah.
don't know if that was a team wipe. I don't think it was a team wipe.
It wasn't a team wipe. I think they were fighting another squad, and they finished him for him. But our Oompa Loompas in the background now updating these scores for you guys. 1 run difference. UCLA, they've come storming back, and Fresh with another snipe. Wow.
Fresh said, "What game 3?" Fresh is ready.
UCLA, they do not want to go to a game 3. They want to end this here and now. And updating these scores for you guys, UCLA, they have a 1-run lead. They're up 30-29 with just 5 minutes left. Our timer a little bit off for you guys. There's going to be an extra minute added onto that. So there really is about 5 minutes left right now. But just an incredible final few minutes here from UCLA. Virginia Tech, meanwhile, Freedom J, they're top fragger across this tournament. He is out of this game right now. He's going to have to get redeployed, and the rest of his teammates are going to have to really perform here. I'm not sure they're going to have enough time to get into a new game should they decide to quit out to the lobby.
Now, if they were to quit out right now, they would end up, assuming they find a match right away, they would end up with about 1.5 minutes. Fresh with another C4, man. He is deadly with these C4s.
Fresh on it, just an absolute tear. Just moments ago, he only had like 7 runs. He's up to 14 right now, and they're still going strong. 2 of his teammates go down as Fresh tried to hold off this enemy squad on the rooftop.
And he
tries to get away, but he
too.
can't. So UCLA, they're going back to the main lobby. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech, they have 2 players out, 1 player in the gulag, and it's going to come down maybe to this gulag match. They need to win this gulag if they're going to have a chance at beating UCLA right now. Down 2 runs.
Now he's
Virginia Tech
pushing.
moving up. Yeah, moving up the left side. Sees him on the right side. He gets the
Connects,
gulag
gets
kill.
the win and moves on. Now,
So he's going to get redeployed for free for Virginia Tech. That's huge. Meanwhile, UCLA in the gulag right now, they have 1 player going down. He is out. Meanwhile, they have 2 more guys in that gulag. 2 go down now.
UCLA in a gulag.
Yeah, so they have 1 player up right now. This is going to be big for them too, as they're top 32. They have a chance at getting a grand slam, getting bonus runs here.
Some damage.
Flashbang goes out, takes damage, but
Interesting
able to get away.
push.
He
He
slides
connects
over and
it
gets that
too.
gulag kill.
We are in the final moments. 2 minutes left. This is the most intense action, the closest final. This decides if we see a game 3 or if we see UCLA move forward to the finals in the World Series of Baseball Esports tournament brought to you by the Bragg House.
Virginia Tech right now, they're fighting for their tournament lives. Down 1-0 in the series to UCLA. They need to win this game to force a game 3. That would be at 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight, coming up in like 20 minutes. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech, he's running around. He's going to get a quick kill. He can get the finish too.
Thirst it, gets the close.
Yeah. So J-Mon right now doing everything he can for Virginia Tech to keep them in this, to make sure UCLA doesn't win this game 2 and go to the finals. He's in the helicopter right now for Virginia Tech. He's getting lit up, getting caught on a telephone pole.
Definitely not what you want to be doing.
Yeah,
this
dangerous
close.
moment there. He has that RPG out, fires it, can't connect.
Definitely going for
Pushing.
the Hail Mary plays at this point, but that might be what he needs to lock this in. We have 1 minute left, 59
he's
seconds.
gonna
He's
get
pushing
taken out.
and disconnected. Finish it at 46. That is going to be it for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, they're not going to have enough time to get into a new game. We have our Oompa Loompas in the back trying to update the scores for you guys as quickly as they can. They have we have eyes on all the different streams
We
right
have
now.
an extra minute on what the clock says there, guys.
Yeah,
Guys, we do have 1 more minute additional play time. There was a little bit of a snap with the clock. Now, that's not going to be enough time still for Virginia Tech to jump back in. So it all comes down to confirming these final scores as our team in the
and
back
protruding
punches
Juan,
them.
he's going to have a minute and a half here to try and get some runs. Hopefully, we don't have the full tally on Virginia Tech just yet. So, that UCLA, they could be down right now. We're not sure. Protruding Juan, he needs to get some kills. He has a minute and 15 seconds to do so. And he's pushing up. He's looking for anyone as he's moving in from that storm. Another thing to notice, only 8 people left in this lobby. If they can get to a grand slam in this next minute, that could be the runs that they need to move on into the finals here. He's pushing up right now. He's in Promenade, trying to find any kills that he can, looking for any squad so desperately. He does have full armor. He's got P90 up. He catches someone parachuting down, but he can't get his sights down quick enough. He's gonna try and move up behind him, try and get any kills. He has just a minute left, and he breaks the armor on one, but he can't get the knock. He's going to be fighting a whole squad here. He doesn't want to give up this high ground, but it looks like he might have to. That C4 coming up doesn't do any damage. He's going to reload this P90 and try and push back out. He doesn't want to give them time to re-shield. Meanwhile, all of his armor get taken away. He only has 2 armor plates left to refresh here. The enemy squad tossing C4 up here, doing anything they can. Oh, but Protruding One, he's going to go down. He's going to get killed. So that's it for him. He doesn't get into that Grand Slam territory either and that's it. Time's up. Wow,
Guys,
okay, so our
it.
Oompa Loompas in the back, they're calculating scores right now. We're going to see who ended up winning this match.
Let's give it 1 second. Let's just let all the different scores get absolutely verified, confirmed in the back. Again, guys, it's a lot of streams to be counting. Right now, we do have a final score for Virginia Tech of 34 coming in. Let's see.
Wow, and I think we have our final scores.
And it looks like it is updated. UCLA also getting confirmed by all of our background staff. 32 final score. So, guys, Virginia Tech just won this. We have one more game coming up. Lavelle, gainfully employed, another hour. We're going to see what comes next after this, guys. Now, in the next 15 minutes, there's some things that we need to go over, guys. If you haven't already followed the Bragg House, guess what you have to do? Hit that purple button right below our stream. Second thing that's most important, make sure you subscribe, because if you're a follower or you're a subscriber, I just told you guys how to double up your money the easiest way possible. The most important thing that you can do is follow the Bragg House. Make sure that you guys are there every single stream for your chance to win as we call out what words, what entries, and what live brags we're going to be doing for every single game. Now, that brings me to my next most important thing. Who won our last live brag? We asked you guys to type in what Lavelle was fighting for. His job as CEO of the Bragg House against Ryan the intern. And right now, they're going to game 3 starting in the next 14 minutes. But the person who won that giveaway, the person who typed CEO, all the people that typed during that match, our winner for this one is going to be Katie Wheeler. So Katie Wheeler, all you have to do is email us at events@thebragghouse.com. We're going to get you your gift card. And if you were already a subscriber, if you were already a follower, or if you're a follower or subscriber before we check it, we'll make sure that you double up your prize money. Guys, we have another game coming up. It's in 13 minutes. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a game 3 to decide who goes forward to meet our champions from earlier, OSU.
And wow, guys, honestly, I just want to talk about the finish of that game real quickly. UCLA, fresh and protruding, went on an absolute tear to try and, cut into that deficit, even taking the lead with just like a minute left. But Virginia Tech, Chanderson actually, who's kind of been their weak link so far in the tournament, coming up clutch, getting those like 2 last-second kills, one in the Gulag and one at military base. Just incredible performance by them to hold off UCLA, who was coming full steam ahead for that win and forcing the game 3. Like, I'm still in shock right now, and I have no idea what to say. That was an incredible performance by Virginia Tech to hold off UCLA there and force the game 3 with their tournament lives on the line.
I'll be honest. I'm not surprised. I don't want to sound like Lavelle Jr. over here. Freedom J drops it, man, and he's dropped it in multiple tournaments for us before. We saw him hold it down in March Madness against all odds, carried his team to victory as a sleeper from the beginning, and rose as a very, very humble winner. I had no doubt that he walked into today's match calm, collected, with his team reinvigorated for today's match. He's ready to win, and he does not mess around, as we've already seen in our March Madness bracket.
I mean, but guys, Freedom J, obviously the top fragger of this game, all credits to him, but like, that wasn't a Freedom J win. It wasn't. It was a Virginia Tech team win.
Exactly.
The difference. Sorry.
Ryan, I'm just so hyped like you. Let's look at the score breakdown. I mean, that was a team freaking win.
Absolutely.
All right, so I guess here at the Bragg House, we've given up all fake semblances of not being partisan, but I just want to say in the first game where UCLA kind of dominated Virginia Tech, fresh and protruding. Obviously, we're both stellar performers there. Cam, doing his part. And it all kind of came down to Freedom J to try and carry Virginia Tech in that game one, and he just couldn't do it. In this game, 6 kills from Chanderson, 11 kills from J-Mont. That was the difference maker right there. We didn't see that kind of performance out of them in game one, and they paid the price. In game two, they came out Louisville Sluggers swinging.
Oh yeah.
And they got the win. I was feeling
my job for a day. For another round.
For another hour.
An hour, yeah, maybe.
An hour and 11 minutes, Lavelle is protected. Now, I do want to note the big thing that helped them there again was that game mechanic, the Bragg House baseball mechanic that you guys tied into this. Daniel, I know you called that out earlier. You said it's going to be a really, really big thing for both teams to be using this mechanic throughout the entire tournament. We've seen continually there's a habit here. The winners do. The people who are moving forward, what they're doing is they're using that strategy to think home runs, grand slams. How do I strategize to make sure that we're making those almost as important as getting frags? I've seen a couple times now where teams have let somebody run by, let somebody go, not chosen to attack, specifically because they were that close to that number. And once again, as we just saw here, that's what brought VT to the point where we have a third match going on. So guys,
wow, and an incredible performance. You see the Hokies, getting hype in the chat right now. Astro, our Ohio State player. Thank you so much for following the stream. He's coming in to check out the competition, who he might be facing in the finals. And guys, I'm starting to worry a little bit about my pick. UCLA, they still had a really strong game there with 32 runs, but man, that kind of performance took me by surprise.
I mean, honestly, as you play again. We all played sports here in some form or fashion. Closing out is the hardest thing, and nobody wants to lose. And that's what we said. We said in a game 3, you have to earn it. You have to absolutely earn it.
Yeah, and UCLA, they did what they could to close out, but you can't let yourself get too far behind at the beginning. And that's what they did. If they had been a little bit closer when they began that absolute tear of a run that last 10 minutes, that might be a different outcome. But, UCLA, they couldn't get it going. They couldn't find their groove the first 30 minutes or so, and they paid the price there. And Virginia Tech now forcing that game 3. And
guys,
Lavelle, I have one question for you real quickly. All tournament, you've been saying that the thing you love about our best of 3 format that we're doing here is that it proves that the team moving forward is the best team.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, guys, Virginia Tech, obviously with a great performance here, but do you think that was a fluke? Do you think we'll be able to see that performance again from them in game 3? I mean, we know UCLA has been performing consistently this entire tournament, scoring in the 30s of every single game of the tournament so far. Virginia Tech, they've kind of been all over the place. Do you think that was a fluke?
Ryan, I'm going to throw it back to you, dude. It's I don't think it's a fluke, but it's like you said it. You can't control what your other teammate does. So I think we saw the best of both players, but you can't control what they get. You can't control what their loot. You can't control which squads they're going to see. It's it's all up to. So I think what we did see was Virginia Tech step up, know they're facing elimination, probably a position that they haven't been in before, and got really strategic on how to do things. And then a little bit of luck played in their favor. I think that's what we saw.
Well,
so I'm actually really curious to see how this third match is going to play out. Based on previous games that we've had, previous matches that we've had, I feel like Virginia Tech is on the path. They're on they got their groove back on kind of thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Virginia Tech, though. I wouldn't be surprised if UCLA are gonna get their soldiers lined up and get those runs.
My partner right there.
Yeah, I think Virginia Tech is they're a strong one. Like I said earlier, it's a slower roll out of the gate, but when Freedom J gets rolling, it's a steamroller coming for you. And he has no stress. We've seen him in the middle of a tournament say oh yeah, I think we're gonna go out there. We're probably just gonna do what we can and just win. So modest, so nonchalant about it. I think that he has that ability to really like organize. I think that he's going to keep it going for Game 3. Not only faster into the match because now he's warmed up, and this is going to be the first time he goes into a Game 3. But I think that he has his team hyped up now too. His team's going to be ready for this one.
Guys, I hear what you're saying, but I think I'm actually going to go the opposite direction. UCLA has just been so consistent. I think that they kind of let their guard down a little bit in the first half of the match, and it took them realizing that they were down big to really get going, like we saw there at the end. I think UCLA realizes, like, hey, now it's do or die. And we saw them in Game 3 against California, who I thought was one of the better teams in the tournament also, and they performed there too. So I'm going to stick with my UCLA pick here. I think that they're gonna know that the pressure's on. They need to step up. They need to perform the entire 45 minutes and not just the last 10.
Absolutely.
I mean, and I can't even believe how fast this time went by.
I mean it goes by quick, especially when it's action-packed like that, and you have so much back and forth between two different teams that are both capable of doing really cool things. It's good when you see this team like working together to score. It's different when you watch people like Fresh and people like Freedom J throw C4s over walls and blow up like vehicles. It's an entertaining game to watch. So yeah, that match flew by.
Yeah, and guys, we see you in the chat. Chris Keys, thank you so much for the follow. We really appreciate you supporting the Brag House. Brilliant. Wondering what happens if you win one of our daily brags. We are going to send you guys gift cards, basically winning free money just for betting on the games here, betting on these daily brags. And if you do happen to win, you're going to shoot an email over to events@thebraghouse.com with your Twitch username. We'll make sure that we get you your gift card. But I want to tell you something else. A way you can double your money really easily. If you follow us and you throw us a subscription, it's free to subscribe if you have Amazon Prime. You can subscribe for free, and we'll double the money on your gift card if you do win one of these tournaments. Hilly, thank you so much for the follow. We really appreciate it. And guys, it's these follows, these subscriptions that tells us, hey, you guys like our content, you like what we're doing, and it allows us to keep putting on these tournaments for you guys. And we have a whole bunch of different stuff coming up for you. We have more Call of Duty. We have Rocket League coming up next week. We have Valorant in the works. So a bunch of stuff lined up. So keep throwing us that love, those follows, those subscriptions. Make sure you turn our notifications on so you know when we are live and streaming. And also you can follow us on social media. If you go !social in the chat, our Instagram and our Twitter will pop up. Throw us follows on that. You get more information about when these tournaments are happening. Let's say you're watching and you want to compete, you want to represent your school, get a team together. You'll find information about all of these tournaments on our social media, so make sure you're following on there as well.
Honestly, Ryan, you just hit on all the points that I wanted to hit on during our break while we get into our next match. We do have 3 minutes left until our final game of the night, the tiebreaker, the decider of who moves forward into the finals. Ryan, can you do me a favor real quick? I know we've already heard it before. We've heard it a few times over the course of the tournament, but for everybody just now joining us, how exactly does baseball tie into Call of Duty? How did you guys make this work, and what are the rules?
Yeah, so guys, as you may know, you may have heard before, the College World Series obviously was canceled due to the ongoing pandemic in the world. So, the guys over at Brag House, we were like, okay, what can we do to, fill that void? And, how can we make it entertaining? And more specifically, how can we incorporate esports into this college sports void that we're currently experiencing? Because obviously, me, Lavelle, Daniel, and Matt can't go out into a field and start swinging bats together and stuff like that by ourselves. So what we decided to do was we put on this Call of Duty tournament, and we shifted a bunch of the rules in order to kind of fit that College World Series vibe. One of the things that we did was we made it so every kill counts as 1 run. And, every player, they get their runs, but the way you win is by the squad having the most combined runs. So whatever squad has the most runs at the end of this 45-minute period wins the game. And in this situation, it's do or die game 3. The winner goes on to the finals against Ohio State. But that's not all. That's not the only way we incorporated baseball. We also added these things, home runs and grand slams, which for those of you who are familiar with baseball, I'm sure you've heard a million times before. A home run is when any member of a squad lives into the top 50 players in a lobby. And when that happens, the squad gets a home run and they get 2 bonus runs added to their total. If any of those players then go on to live into the top 20 players in a lobby, then that home run becomes a grand slam. And instead of 2 bonus runs, they get 4 bonus runs. And already throughout this entire tournament, we have seen these home runs and these grand slams making huge differences and huge impacts in who wins the game. Just in our last semifinal a couple hours ago, we saw Ohio State win over Florida State by having just one more home run. And so, guys, it's just like some of the ways that we at the Bragg House are trying to create new, exciting content for you guys and incorporate college sports and esports together and make this really fun, cool environment and build our community.
And I know that you guys definitely focus on, doing that. I want to get more into that when we have time, but I also want to make sure that we're starting the next match, which just actually went underway, guys. We just had both teams officially kick off, or I guess opening pitch, if you would, of the final match. So let's go ahead and tune into that, guys. Now, we do start that clock as soon as they both jump into their first match, so we have 45 minutes and about 30 seconds on the clock into our final game of the evening, and of course deciding who's going to move forward to the World Series of Baseball championship game, UCLA or Virginia Tech.
Man, my heart is still racing from that last game, guys. The way UCLA turned it on there at the end and the way Chanderson was able to step up for Virginia Tech, that was, I would argue one of the more exciting finishes we've seen of this tournament so far. And we've had games going to extra innings. We have seen games, be decided in the very last seconds, and that right there was as good as any of them, especially with what is on the line. Virginia Tech playing for their tournament lives, UCLA trying to move on to the finals, and we're going to know who's going to be meeting Ohio State in that finals matchup tomorrow in 45 minutes.
Now, you can already kind of tell if you look at both teams, both of them not wasting any time getting that warm-up. We've seen a couple of them just waste that time floating down. Maybe they're doing something at their computer or at their console at home. This time, both teams utilizing that time to jump in and get as much free target practice as they can. They know what's on the line. It looks like both of them showed up ready to party.
And UCLA, they're going to be getting into a game first. They're dropping down right now. Virginia Tech only a couple seconds left in their warm-up lobby. Oh, man. Okay, guys, so this is it. Final predictions for y'all in the chat. Who do you think is going to take Game 3 and move on to the Esports College World Series final against Ohio State? Is it going to be UCLA? Is it going to be Virginia Tech? Let us know in the chat right now. Show your support. That way, at the end of the game, if you were right, we don't have the opportunity to call you a fair weather fan or anything like Lavelle.
The chat right now.
Don't be a Lavelle. Say your score now.
You got to.
Everyone's going to be afraid to say Virginia Tech now. All the actual Virginia Tech fans are going to be like, whoa, I don't want to see him. I mean, guys, if you're just out joining us, this is the final game of the night. This is going to be the deciding factor to see who moves forward in our esports tournament. Of course, Virginia Tech, who we're going to drive into for a second, show you guys an up-close focus on. Virginia Tech landing on the roof of Store, trying to connect, but not really finding anything at this moment. Let's see if their teams can do something.
And, this is something that we saw a ton in the early rounds of this tournament and have not seen yet today. Teams landing on the roof of Superstore. Obviously, Superstore, a very, very hot drop. Tons of teams like to go there at the beginning of games. But not working out for Virginia Tech is all of them are going to be getting sent to the Gulag. Freedom J, he's going to get his Gulag kill, though, very quickly. Hasn't missed a beat from Game 2. And he's going to get redeployed here as well.
This is what I told you guys, man. The steamroller is coming for UCLA. Freedom J, when he gets warmed up, it doesn't really stop, and it just gets more and more impressive. So I think this is going to be pretty interesting to see how this turns out over the next couple of minutes. I mean, 42 minutes seems like a long time. If you guys aren't used to Call of Duty, that seems like a long time, and it's going to be a couple matches. But as we just reviewed, as Lavelle mentioned, that last game flew by. So when you're watching two teams at this competition level, they just connect shots and they offer entertainment. They're not just trying to win, but they're doing it with style.
Yeah, and
guys,
AP,
the Oompa Loompas in the background are working, and the score should be refreshing any moment now.
Awesome. And guys, APS, do Gulag kills count as runs? They absolutely do. Vic, runs are our way of just quantifying kills, trying to keep it, in the theme of baseball. So 1 kill equals a run, but you can also get bonus runs by getting home runs and grand slams. So runs are basically just the score of the match right now. And guys, you know, a tough break right here for UCLA. Their game is going to crash. Fresh, that's why we don't have them up on the screen for you all right now. UCLA, they're going to miss out on Fresh in this first lobby.
Now that doesn't, I don't think that's going to be that big of a deal. You know, last game Virginia Tech was leading by, I believe, about 8 to 10 runs, and they caught up within a matter of minutes. So I'm not too worried about that. Drops a frag inside the wall, seeing if he can connect. Drops armor. Now, real quick, while we're waiting, I want to mention, guys, we're still giving away more prizes here at the Bragg House over the course of the rest of this competition. So make sure you're watching. Make sure you guys are tuning in. And when we say that we're going to do another live brag or another giveaway, just make sure you tune in, chat with us in the chat. We're going to ask you guys for a keyword. All you have to do is say it, and you enter for your chance to win. The easiest way, as Ryan was just saying a minute ago, to double up your prize money is to make sure that you guys are a follower or a subscriber of the Bragg House already. The easiest way to do that, hit that purple button right below the live stream.
Hey guys, I don't know if you realize
Protruding
this.
Wand right now in the chat saying it was never going to be easy, huh? He's talking about how they all just got kicked from that game and are having to join a new
But
one.
Ryan, think about this. I don't think people realize if Virginia Tech moves on and I keep my job, Ohio State already moved on. Ohio State and Virginia Tech, which went head-to-head in March Madness, are going to meet again.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I hadn't even thought about that, but you're totally right. You know, in our March Madness bracket we held a couple months ago, Virginia Tech, they were able to win over Ohio State in that and claim our first Bragg House tournament title. Ohio State, you know, they might want Virginia Tech to move on here. They might be looking for revenge.
You know, I think that UCLA, I think they definitely want it. I think that, you know, Virginia Tech definitely wants it. But it would be kind of cool to see a rematch of those two schools. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about the competition. It's all about that fandom.
Oh, yeah.
I think Ohio and Virginia both have had some of the most active chatters this entire tournament so far. Unless some UCLA fans want to like prove me wrong over the rest of this game, I think Virginia Tech and Ohio probably have the most fan love of any teams in this tournament.
Yeah. And that Taco Cat Gamer, thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate you supporting the Bragg House, making it so we can keep putting on these awesome tournaments for you guys.
I think we want to shout out Apps for the follow earlier, too. I'm not sure if I missed that person. I just wanted to give us a shout out.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely. Abs 316, thank you so much. He actually said that he had a perfect bracket last game, so I am interested to see if it's still moving forward perfectly. I don't know if you picked UCLA, I don't know if you picked Virginia, but I believe your bracket's definitely doing better than mine, considering I picked FSU. So if you guys didn't catch our game earlier today, Ohio played FSU. Unfortunately, my Noles are not moving forward. They did not secure the win. So it's going to be Ohio versus whoever walks out of
Ohio
this game.
State, man. Ohio
Oh, yeah, I'm
State.
sorry, Ohio State. Don't want it to be a California Cal thing. So if it's, you know, Ohio State versus Virginia Tech, it's going to be a really, really big deal to see them, again, as Lavelle was just mentioning, kind of revisit what could be forming as a grudge if they do revisit each other. After our March Madness tournament just a few months ago.
Yeah, becoming the rivalry match that no one saw coming. And we're gonna have UCLA dropping down right now into Boneyard. They love that spot. A pretty hot drop for them, but you know they're really great performing early in the game, and you know, obviously early kills are king in this tournament. And they're gonna get one quick one right here too. So a strong start, you know, even though they were delayed just a little bit.
And one of the big things I think here is that, you know, UCLA, they know how to turn it on, man. They know how to get into the game and really start moving. And like just, you know, they rack up kills. It's almost like, you know, impressive. It's like, okay, I looked away, focused on Virginia Tech for 1 second, I come back, UCLA's got 5 points on the board. It's not hard for them to come back from this, but do you guys have any predictions walking into this tiebreaker in terms of what we saw earlier today and then what we're going to see in the next 37 minutes?
Yeah, well, you know, UCLA, the first, 25 or 30 minutes that we saw from UCLA, that's not them. That's not the team they are. And I think they let their guard down a little bit. I think the last 15 minutes that we saw from them is the team that they really are. And if they can keep that momentum moving forward into this game, Lavelle, shut up. I know you saw that. If they can keep that momentum going into this game, you know, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
Absolutely. And our fans are even getting involved in their hypothesis as in terms of former tournament This tournament, it's going to be interesting to see what happens when girl gamers represent their schools in just a few days from now. You know, it seems like this tournament has flown by over the last couple of weeks. It's coming up very quick. We're going to be having a Rocket League tournament brought to you by the Bragg House. And not only that, but Lavelle finally at least admitted tonight enough details that we can put together. There's going to be some pro athletes there. There are also going to be chicks, and we still have no idea who they are. So, Lavelle, tell me a little bit more about the Bragg House, the soccer tournament coming up inside of Rocket League, and what made the Bragg House look to esports as the solution when all college sports got canceled.
I mean, we figured this was the best way to promote our community around college sports. So you're seeing here common casual gamers who represent their school, who just want to support their school. And that's what you're seeing. And we want to reward that kind of community. So we're giving away prizes. People in the chat already have gotten prizes. So it's just supporting our community.
Absolutely,
Awesome.
man. Absolutely. And we've been giving away prizes like all day, all tournament. That's going to keep going, not just this one, but with the next one, there's going to be another bracket where people can actually go to thebragghouse.com and sign up to winner the big prize purse. And we're talking, you know, not a gift card at a time, guys. We're talking about hard, cold cash. We've given away hundreds of dollars. There's a $1,000 prize purse on the line. The Bragg House keeps growing their prizes the more people that get into the tournaments, guys. So make sure you guys follow us. Make sure you subscribe so we know that we're going the right direction. You guys want to see more Call of Duty, more Valorant, more Rocket League. Let us know what we can change. And we're going to keep bringing you guys the most innovative content that we guys can. Now, Ryan, you've been tuned into this match while me and Lavelle were talking a little bit more about the Bragg House and the Rocket League tournament coming up. What have you seen in the match so far?
Yeah, so UCLA looked like they had a hot start as they finally got into a game, but, you know, they were not able to convert on their gulag kills, which is, you know, a rare sight for them, but they're going to be heading back to the main lobby right now as Virginia Tech just gets into a fresh game. And we see some chatter right now. Betting Lex Tex, why is this? I love how eloquent you are with your words.
Doesn't waste a second.
Basically, what we are doing is, you know, the College World Series was canceled, unfortunately, due to the global situation. So we at Bragg House decided to put on a college esports tournament to replace the void that was left by the College World Series. This is the Esports College World Series. So we are doing a Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone tournament, and we're implementing different baseball rules into that. So one of those things is, instead of kills, every team earns runs. And what that is every kill that a person gets, that counts as one run for your squad. Whatever squad has the most runs at the end of 45 minutes wins the game in a best-of-3 series. We are in Game 3 right now between Virginia Tech and UCLA. And that's not all we're doing to incorporate baseball into this. We also have home runs and grand slams. A home run is when any player of a squad reaches the top 50 players of the lobby. If they do that, their squad gets a home run. That's 2 bonus runs added for them. And that's not all. If any of those players live into the top 20 players in a lobby, that home run becomes a grand slam. And instead of 2 bonus runs, they get 4 bonus runs. So already this tournament, we have seen tons of games decided by home runs, grand slams, those bonus runs coming in and being the difference maker between these games.
Absolutely, man. And I gotta say, already Freedom J is really impressing me this round. His movement speed, how fast he's getting tactical and making sure he's moving around more hot areas inside the military base, not quite as remote as like the wooded areas. He's looking for frags, dropping 2 frags right on top of a squad as they get crossfired by the rest of his squad.
Yeah, and they're going to get the team wipe right there. Virginia Tech, they're looking good to start this off. They can get that revive off. They'll be in a really good position in this lobby, having taken over a good portion of military base. Meanwhile, UCLA, they're just now getting into a game with about 32 minutes left. They're going to need to start digging into this Virginia Tech lead again. They might be having some bad flashbacks of last game where they got down big early, and despite a ferocious last-second comeback, weren't able to get the job done.
Now, after again getting nervous about that frag grenade throw, saying he held it a little bit too long. But as you saw right there, Virginia Tech worked perfectly to deliver the frag grenade, have it explode, while Jamon comes up from the side, flanks, and gets the down as well as the team wipe. That's kind of the play style that we've seen from Virginia Tech today. They've definitely been playing as a more organized team, which, as we reviewed yesterday, we all mentioned we really wanted to see them get back to that team mentality that we saw them win so far with. They're doing it right now in Game 3. They're really bringing the noise as he revives his teammate. Now, I want to go into the score a little bit more detail. Virginia Tech right now in the lead. That doesn't mean a lot, as we learned last game. That could be a matter of seconds from being changed. But
sadly, it doesn't. My job is still on the line.
At least for the next 31 minutes, 7 seconds. Now, right now, Freedom J, Lavelle's golden child, running the board. 8 runs. 8 runs, only 15 minutes into this game. We still have 2/3 of the game left. He's followed up by Jamon, bringing up the rear with 4 runs right now. 0 home runs, 0 grand slams. And Ryan, can you update us on UCLA's score?
Yeah, so UCLA right now, another kind of slow start for them. Hate to see it, but they're getting back into a game, and they're getting some runs early on as Fresh is going to get that finish right there. We saw last game, they take a little while to get going, but when they do get going, they're firing on all cylinders. I was hoping that they would be able to kind of keep up some of that momentum that they had at the end of the last game and keep the pressure on, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case so far. We'll see here in this lobby if they're able to make a run and start racking up kills like they have been.
Absolutely, man. You and I were playing last week in the military base and not having the best time of it. It's a very tactical position. You gotta really be trying to move around and really run the game. Now, UCLA has been a more tactical start to the beginning. They move a little bit slower, but Fresh and Protruding Wand are usually the ones carrying the ranks. Right now, Camp leading the team with 2. Fresh and Protruding both tied with 1. It's going to be interesting to see which one wakes up first and starts really bringing the noise up against Virginia Tech.
Yeah, and I just want to shout out some guys. Professor Microstar, thank you. It says, nice stream. We'll follow you. We appreciate that love and support. APS316 with the Twitch Prime sub. That means the world to us. Thank you so much for supporting the Bragg House. We can keep on putting tournaments on like this for you guys. UCLA right now, they're in a tough position. They have 2 players down looking to be revived. As their third teammate comes up from the rear to try and save him, but he's going to be a little bit too late. It's a tough start for UCLA as Virginia Tech. They're still looking really strong. And, you said that Cam was leading the squad for UCLA. I think that is going to be something really important for them. He was their bottom fragger last game. I think if they can make sure Cam gets involved and going early, I'm not as worried about Fresh and Protruding being able to find their groove in this game. So, UCLA by no means out of it yet. And if they can keep Cam active and getting runs, then it's going to be tough to beat UCLA.
Absolutely. And as Silent Bang just mentioned in the chat, C.H. Anderson does have 2 kills right now. It looks like it is going to be updated as we see the kills come in, guys. We have a whole team behind us, dubbed the Bragg House Oompa Loompa Squadron, that is updating everything behind the scenes. Daniel has an entire team verifying every single stream, every single kill. So as they come in, we're going to make sure. We're not going to put that in the stream. We'll edit that out. Don't worry about it. The Oompa Loompas are fine. They're not unionizing. They're fine. But as we confirm the kills, guys, we're going to add them to the board and we'll refresh the board. So even though it may look like, CH has, 2 kills, it looks like a couple different people are saying CH has a couple kills. As they come in, we're going to verify them. As we see them verified, we're going to update our board.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, Tony Boy, thank you so much saying you wish you could donate. You can throw us some bits our way if you want to support the stream. We really appreciate that. Meanwhile, Silent Bang, thank you so much for our chat. We love seeing all the chats here, guys. Love seeing you guys involved and included, and keeping the energy high for both these teams right now. And we're getting some score updates. Still don't have C.H. Anderson's 2 kills that we know we are missing, but for UCLA right now, they're cutting into the lead a little bit. They're up to, as our Oompa Loompas try to refresh in the back, they're up to 9 runs. So only down 4 right now. It looks like Virginia Tech obviously still on a tear, but UCLA they're not going silently into that sweet night.
And right now, we do have the most up-to-date scores on the board. UCLA right now at 9, Fresh 3 runs. Camp 4 and Protruding 2. They are just now turning on that energy. 2/3 of the game left with 26 minutes, 44 seconds on the board.
And guys, right now we see UCLA. They're moving into Lozoff Pass. And Virginia Tech, wow. All right, we haven't seen this a lot from them this tournament. Something they kind of trademarked in our last one. Using the vehicles to their advantage. This is something that we've seen as like a really big strat in the tournament. And teams are normally really successful when they do take advantage of the vehicles on the map. But we haven't seen it so far much this tournament, as Freedom J gets an insane whip around kill there. It will be interesting to see if Virginia Tech continues to utilize these vehicles, these ATVs, these golf buggies in the rest of this gameplay, and how that affects their performance.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Now, we are just now getting into it. We're not even halfway through this game, guys, and we have literally just now 2 sleeping giants, Fresh and Protruding, starting to warm up a little bit. This game is far from over. A 5-point score could literally be a matter of seconds. So don't go anywhere. We have 25 minutes left. We might be doing some more giveaways today. The only way to know is by staying tuned for the remainder of the match.
Yeah, and guys, right now, as you're saying, Matt, Fresh and Protruding, 2 of the top players in this tournament, definitely sleeping giants right now. Haven't gone off to a hot start yet, but they're going to be looking to them to start picking it up and putting UCLA on their back a little bit. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech, a strong performance so far. They had that early lead, but a little less of a team performance than we saw from them last game. I'm worried that if they don't get if Freedom J doesn't get the rest of the team involved here, that they might struggle to perform in the late game when UCLA really gets their engines turning. And Fresh has that sniper rifle back out. Man, he is just so deadly with that.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. And that's one thing that I love about Freedom J through and through is that I've seen him pick up an LMG, pistol, sniper, a vehicle, C4, frag grenade, I mean, I feel like he's the Chuck Norris of Call of Duty. You give him anything, he's going to connect it to somebody's face. So I think that really what we have to see right now is Freedom J, J-Mon, CH Anderson all need to really just keep it moving and keep up with Freedom J. If they can keep up with Freedom J, this spread could continue. Meanwhile, Fresh and Protruding are both bringing up the fire. Camp now pulling ahead in the 3rd match. I guess the most important match, depending on how you look at it. Camp's finally putting a name on the board for himself, leading UCLA with 4.
Yeah, and that's big. He's been really quiet so far in this tournament, but if he can pick it up and Fresh and Protruding can get back into their previous form, it's a tough team to beat. We're gonna see a lot. We're gonna need to see a lot from J-Mont and Chanderson here if they're gonna have a chance in this game. And this is big for UCLA right here. They're getting their custom loadouts. Fresh, going with that sniper rifle RPG combo, a really interesting one, but it'll be interesting to see. And right now in the back, we have our Oompa Loompas updating the scores for you guys, keeping them as updated as possible for you all at home as we reach about the halfway mark in this game. Strong performance right now. Matt, what are you seeing from these teams? What's the difference maker so far?
Really, man, the big thing that I think is really the biggest difference is going to be just like the organization. We saw all the teams that we saw yesterday. We saw them again today. The big difference was organization and how those teams work together to get through. Obviously, I was a little biased. Not quite as biased as Lavelle towards VT, but I was definitely biased towards FSU. Wanted to see my boys win, but they didn't have it today. They brought it out fierce yesterday, but Ohio State came to bring it. They came organized, they came ready to win. And I think that what we're seeing here is a little bit different. What we're seeing here is 2 teams that came really prepared to win. We have one team full of Fresh, Protruding. They have something to prove. They're ready to win, and they've already kind of paved the path here. Meanwhile, Freedom J literally has something to defend. He has a trophy, the Bragg House March Madness trophy. There's a lot riding there. He's such a calm guy. I really think that it's just going to come down to what team is more organized, because both of them have a lot riding on this. Both of them have a lot to prove and lose. It's going to come down to really just who works together with the other 2 people. We both know these teams have high hitters.
Yeah, and Matt, really interesting that you say that. I'm watching the UCLA stream really closely right now. And Fresh, he had an opportunity to get a squad wipe there, but he couldn't convert. His team, the rest of his squad mates would have been really easy for them to come in and clean that up and even get the revive off. But he was, really far away from them. They had already started making their way towards the circle, probably towards the stadium. Fresh was still lurking back, trying to pick up some kills. You got to think UCLA, they're playing pretty individually right now. They're not playing as a team. They're not moving as a squad, at least to the degree that you would like to see. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech, where you can watch them, wherever one goes, the other two are close behind. You never see any of them kind of get stuck in any 1v3, 2v3 situations.
No, they move very tight.
Yeah, and that seems to be big. UCLA, they're leaving points on the board right now with being as spread out as they are.
One of the big things I think UCLA depends on is they depend on kind of having that one man. Like, they're good at having that hero story. One guy left, two guys down, not even in the gulag. They're firm, hard down, and that one guy is able to come back. And 2 minutes later, 3 people are in the match again, and there's a couple more kills on the board. So I don't think UCLA has an issue with being a few men down. But I think that after losing those first few minutes to the menu issue that they had going on, they really, they can't afford a lot of mistakes like that if they're going to contend with a team that they were just in such a close battle with a few minutes ago.
No, I completely agree. And guys, for Virginia Tech, Chanderson's kills, we see you. Unfortunately, Chanderson's stream right now isn't up, so our Oompa Loompas in the back can't update the scores for him until the end of this lobby, when they'll be able to see all the scores up on the board.
So we will have some updates come in, guys. We're obviously, we're working diligently to keep every streamer up to date. The beautiful thing about Call of Duty, if you're not familiar with Call of Duty, sorry, Ryan, I just want to take 1 minute to let you guys know. After the match is over, when these guys jump out, and I'll actually make sure I point it out to you guys at the end of the next one, you actually get a whole team summary. So what we have is a team behind us. We keep calling them the Oompa Loompas, but really they're working really hard to make sure that the teams are stayed up to date. We have somebody individually accountable for every single stream. So even though they're being updated, what we do is we wait until that scorecard to put it on our absolute scoreboard. We want to make sure that every stream's up to date. We are dealing with, a national, international, worldwide emergency where we had to adapt to make sure that we're working remote. Usually we bring a tournament like this to you from, one, absolute spot, probably New York City, where Brad House is based out of. But right now, we wanted to make sure we're still bringing you guys sports. So work with us while we get these scores updated. We got to wait till CH Anderson's game is over, and then we'll get his kills on the board. But I appreciate everybody at home keeping up to date on the scores. You're helping our team out. You're helping make sure that we keep the score up to date, and we appreciate that. More importantly, it means you guys are watching the Bragg House's content and you guys like it. So thanks for tuning in. If you guys want to show that support, drop us a follow, drop us a sub. Super easy. It takes 1 second to click down below. And with that being said, we're going to be doing one more giveaway, guys. We are at 18 minutes, 50 seconds left of this match. We have under halfway to go. That means in less than 20 minutes, we're going to know one of these teams are going to be moving forward to the World Series of Baseball Championship. And we're going to know in less than 20 minutes. More importantly, one of you guys are going to score another prize, meaning some cold, hard cash in the next 20 minutes. So be listening. And when we ask, Lavelle is going to tell us the secret word for this game.
Yeah.
And when he tells us, all you have to do, type it in the chat to enter to win. If you guys happen to be a follower or subscriber, guess what? You're going to score double prize money. That means you're going to take whatever we give away and double it up. And all you have to do is press that purple button right below the stream, guys.
And guys, I just want to point out a couple things for both teams. UCLA, they had to head back to the main lobby as their squad got finished, but they did get into home run territory there. So 2 kills for them. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech, they're also in home run territory. So that's 2 bonus runs for each team. Meanwhile, Freedom J, he's been on a tear right now, but Virginia Tech kind of stuck out in the open on this ice, pinched between 2 different squads. They're in a tough spot. It looks like they're going to end up getting finished here, but a huge game so far. Just in this one lobby for Freedom J, he had 11 kills. And their team, they're going to be backing out to the lobby.
Real quick, Ryan, sorry to interrupt you guys. Everyone that just saw that screen right there, that screen that you guys just saw where you saw that scoreboard, that's how we're able to update CH Anderson's score. As you guys will see now, it has been updated on the board, and we now have Virginia Tech at 28. 28 points, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and wow, Virginia Tech really starting to run away with it here. A 15-run lead with 17 minutes left. Freaking UCLA, man. I don't know what's going on, but they are not playing like themselves. They're going to need a lot of help if they're going to come back in this one and make it to the final. APS, for you guys asking in the chat, a home run and a grand slam are two ways that Bragg House has incorporated baseball into this tournament. And what those are is when a player of a squad lives into the top 50 players of that lobby, they get a home run for their squad. And a home run is 2 bonus runs added to that squad's total. Now, if any of those players then live into the top 20 players in a lobby, that home run becomes a grand slam. And instead of 2 bonus runs, they get 4 bonus runs. Just as an example, in that last lobby for both these teams, they were both alive with only 50 players left in the lobby. So they both got a home run and added 2 runs to their squad. Freedom J, he's going to have a chance here now to go for a grand slam as he wins that gulag kill, and he's jumping back into the lobby with only 35 people left.
And he's jumping into a small circle, but more importantly, if you guys saw that circle that he's jumping into, it's kind of a weird one. It's a very open one. It's at the bottom of dam. It's going to be very hard to control that. He's going to go for the high ground, very logical progression, but he's dropping in after a gulag, which means he has no weapons. One thing we've seen UCLA do repeatedly is utilize that mechanic, utilize the grand slam and home run mechanic to say, you know what, we just got out of a gulag, we got those free kills. There's a lot of people left, but we don't have that many guns. Let's back out and get a fresh match so we can start racking up kills again. So it's going to be interesting to see if tactics can help bring UCLA back from what Virginia Tech and Freedom J just made a very, very uncomfortable lead with 15 minutes, 20 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, and Freedom J, he's going to get finished there. So their squad not going to reach the Grand Slam territory, but still getting that home run. That's still 2 bonus runs. And our Oompa Loompas in the back, updating the scores for you guys right now. It looks like Virginia Tech only widening this lead. UCLA, I hate to say it, but they're kind of rolling over right now. They're not able to get it going. Obviously, we've seen UCLA just turn it up the last 15 minutes of each match. So I'm not saying that they're completely out of it yet, but Virginia Tech, this has been their best game of the tournament so far with 30 runs with still 15 minutes left, a whole third of this game remaining. They're looking great right now, and I'm starting to think that I won't be the new CEO of Bragg House.
Now, Colorado VT, granted, they may have a little bit of bias, but Colorado VT just said, y'all were sleeping Virginia Tech so hard. I don't think, and he did give credit. He said Lavelle's been strong. But other than Lavelle being strong in the Hokies faith, yeah, we did sleep them a little bit, but I don't think that they can be slept. They did win our March Madness bracket tournament. And if you guys missed it, that was where we did a March Madness styled seed tournament between a ton of schools where we threw it down in Call of Duty Warzone just a few weeks after it came out. Literally, not even, Blizzard, Activision, Treyarch, nobody had a tournament around Call of Duty yet. And all of a sudden, boom, Bragg House, a week after it's out, March Madness tournament, when March Madness plans got drastically shifted by the world. That being said, guys, Virginia Tech did win that. So if you are just now tuning into the Bragg House, if you're just now getting to know us, Virginia Tech is already a Bragg House championship holder. They did win and currently protect the March Madness Bragg House trophy, which they will contend for next year in our March Madness tournament. But more importantly, right now, they're fighting to say that they are the kings of Bragg House and win the baseball tournament as well, which if they do move forward from this game, they will be meeting Ohio State, who they played, as Lavelle mentioned earlier tonight, in our March Madness tournament in the championship. So it could be foreshadowing, it could be destiny for that rematch to take place in a baseball arena.
Yeah, and guys, the only explanation I can even think of right now for UCLA's performance is they knew that I would become CEO if they won this match, and the nerves got to them. They had a lot on the line there.
Company would have crashed. Colorado, you're holding me down. I've always held you guys down. I try to stay clutch. You guys stay clutch. Who the bandwagon fans are now? Not me.
All right, well, at least I haven't switched over to being a Tech fan just yet. So I still got that going for me. And UCLA right now, they're in a tough spot. They have an opportunity here to get some runs, and, they're going to pick a couple up here, but they really need to start moving if they're going to have a chance here, as Fresh is going to go down too. It's going to be up to Protruding right here to get the wipe. He does get one, but Fresh is going to get finished. It's all up to Protruding right now. to
Petrucci trying to hold it down for the boys. Petrucci has been, though. He has been bringing it, man. Like, if you guys think about it, I know we both mentioned it, Ryan. You know, Petrucci has really brought a lot of energy for his team. He's been inside of the chat watching the competition. I think he's definitely, like, he's in it to win. I think his head's in the game. It's really just, you know, it's a weird turnout from UCLA, given what we've seen from them so far, what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm the last one to have expected this performance. I was saying they've been the most consistent team by far. They've been scoring in the 30s every single round. I don't really have – I wish I had an answer for you guys as to why they've been playing so rough. But, you know, the only thing I can maybe think of is just the fact that they haven't been playing like a team like Virginia Tech has. You know, you said it earlier, Matt. Virginia Tech, they have been moving real tight as a squad. They're going into every fight 3-on-3, all of their players there. And as UCLA, they're going to have to back out to the lobby right now, getting finished here.
And we have 10 seconds left on Virginia Tech jumping into their next warm-up, or I'm sorry, their next round. They're in warm-up right now, 4 seconds left on the clock, so they're about to hit the ground. I mean, really, Virginia Tech is already on a runaway train. The steamroller, which is Freedom J, setting the tone for the finals. But UCLA, again, as you said a few minutes ago, Ryan, really wakes up around that 10 to 15 minute mark. Right now we're at 10 minutes, 54 seconds left in this match, and UCLA is going to have to kick it up if they want to contend with Virginia Tech and make sure that they move forward to the next round.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And, you know, we have our updated scores right now, 17-30. UCLA still down 13 runs, but, you know, we saw them make up a similar difference in that last game. They fell just short by 2 runs, but, you know, with 10 minutes left, this is when UCLA wakes up. I know another score update here from our Oompa Loompas is 18-30 now, so just 12 runs.
Exactly, 18-30. And guys, we're forgetting something that's really important in sports, like momentum, right? VT, Virginia Tech, won match number 2, and they just kept momentum. And, you know, who knows what kind of an impact UCLA have from losing that match number 2 after having that like winning strike from the round of 8 that we had when they were going against Cal, and you know, the first match versus Virginia, they might have like thought they were on a roll, and it's just like got in their faces.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. And I think that momentum, you know, I'm going to dub Freedom J the rest of this tournament. Any tournament that he contends in, I'm going to just call him the steamroller. Because he's one of those guys, like, he's so humble, he's quiet, but when he starts rolling, man, he just rolls. Hey, listen, no, I'm still an FSU fan. If somehow they come back into the tournament, if you know, Virginia Tech or Ohio or UCLA can't contend,
Ohio State.
I instantly, Ohio State, instantly vote that FSU gets nominated to fill that void, and I would still cut my hair if they won. But I know that's not going to happen. So if my boys are out, I got to say, you know, Virginia Tech, I'd love to see Freedom J protect it, man. You know, he's such a nice guy, such a humble player. When we interviewed him and we were able to do our post-game, you know, interview, something super unique to the Bragg House that I really enjoyed. But like, when we did that with him and we were talking to him, just how cool and collected he came off made me seem like if he does get motivated, it's going to be a lot like what we're seeing right now, which is him on an absolute roll, killing everything in his way.
Jeez.
And, you know, Colorado calling you out right now, Matt, a little fair weather bandwagon fan. But, no, I agree. Freedom J has been extremely impressive, and it's been a really great team performance from Virginia Tech. We didn't see this yesterday. We didn't see them working as a team. We didn't see the players surrounding Freedom J get those runs needed to win. But, you know, we're seeing it today. And I'm eating my words as every moment passes. And just 8 minutes left for UCLA to overcome this now 14-run deficit. Man.
Now, Ryan, it might be a little soon to update your LinkedIn, but I'm thinking Virginia Tech is going to walk away with this.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might have to go to UPS and ship my beloved Squirtle away. I'm going to need Ohio State to come up clutch in the championship so I can keep my little buddy.
Now, if you do mail it to Lavelle, we're going to need Lavelle to then protect it for the next tournament, and you guys can brag over it during the next one too, which is, again, in just a week. I know we only have 7 minutes, 45 seconds left. So, Lavelle, do you want to give us the keyword for our last giveaway of the night?
Somebody said it. I will give it to you because there's only one word that could describe this action. Clutch.
Clutch.
Clutch the word.
Clutch is the word. You guys heard it from the man himself, Lavelle. Guys, type clutch into the chat to enter for your opportunity to win. Right now, we got a couple people typing it in. All you have to do is type in clutch to enter to win. If you guys are a follower or a subscriber, you guys get the opportunity to double your prize money. If you do win, it's instantly going to be doubled if you're already a subscriber or follower of the Brag House. APS, you're commenting clutch, R Big, we got Skittles, we got Katrina in there. Guys, make sure you guys enter this competition. It's going to be our last giveaway of the night, and we're not going to give it away until the game is over. So make sure you stay tuned. All you have to do is type in clutch to enter to win. Now, I do want to say real quick, Colorado asked about a post-game interview. We are going to have post-game interviews with players. That's something big about the Brag House that they do. We are going to be bringing you post-game interviews, not just with winners. We also interview players that contended earlier in the tournament. When we bring them in as a surprise. So keep in store for next week. We'll definitely be bringing you guys some interviews over the course of our tournament.
We might be doing some tomorrow, Matt. We may be doing something tomorrow.
There we go.
We'll definitely let them know.
There we go.
So tomorrow for our finals match, you hear it here first. We're going to have some post-game interviews with a bunch of the people that participated in the tournament the past couple weeks.
Yep.
You love having them on, hearing that first-person detail, how they felt during the tournament, how they felt during the games, and what came to mind, what strategies they employed. Because as much as we know as commentators, we don't know what's going on inside their heads. So we're definitely going to be making sure we get those to you as soon as we can. And guys, we see you in the chat. Branir, thank you so much for the love. Really appreciate it. Mill Light, let's start up the hype. I totally agree. Professor, hi, what's going on, dog? Okay, Booba, popping tonight, full team play. I totally agree. Virginia Tech definitely been the better team performer, not only just in terms of total performance, but just in terms of playing like a team. And just like in college sports, which we're trying to fill in that void, in Call of Duty, you gotta play as a team if you're gonna be successful. And we've been seeing exactly that tonight from Virginia Tech. UCLA, they just got 5 minutes now. It's down 13 runs still. It's going to be tough. They only got one player left right now in this lobby.
And they're going to have to work hard if they're going to bring this back right now. And don't get me wrong, if anyone can, it's UCLA. They can do it in 5 minutes. It's definitely doable. It's not that many points. Only 13 points is definitely recoverable. But they are going to have to do something magical considering they are outside of a match right now. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech inside of the game, contending, trying to go for a home run, go for a grand slam, see if they can get it, and separate themselves even a little bit further. It's really going to come down to what UCLA can do with the last couple of minutes. Right now it's 4 minutes, 30 seconds left in the entire match, and they have at least a minute 30 before they're in a match best case scenario, leaving them 3 minutes until they're actually on the ground trying to get frags. Not a lot of time. Meanwhile,
Betting Lex Tex, we see you in the chat. Sorry for keeping you waiting, but we love your support. Virginia Tech right now, they're continuing to tear it up in Storage Town. They landed here and they have made this place their home. They are crushing it right now. Freedom J gonna get another knockdown here, and as he tosses out that C4, gets the elimination. They're just looking so strong right now. I'm starting to worry about Ohio State meeting up with them in the finals. This is not, as I said, this is not the same team that we've seen in the first rounds of this tournament from Virginia Tech. They had a close match. Game 2 against Michigan in their first round. They won game 1 in a blowout in their first round, but even then, this has definitely by far been their highest run total of the tournament. So the fact that they're kind of catching fire now at this point in the tournament, it's you gotta feel good if you're a Virginia Tech fan. If you're a Colorado VT, you gotta be feeling good about all that.
Now I know
of course they feel good.
Oh, of course.
And if you're Lavelle and you decided that you wanted to be a VT fan tonight while wearing a Texas shirt, you can feel good about that too. How about that?
So I do want to say something. If you listen to what Ryan said, and it's true, and it's like we want to make sure we say this though. It's like this is a team sport, and teams come together. So it's like we stand Freedom J because he was here before. We think he's a cool guy and stuff, but Freedom J, Mon Chanderson, like you guys all, game's definitely not over, but you guys all came together as a team, and that's what makes it a team sport. I played team sport, my team never won because of me. No matter how many home runs I would hit, it's a team sport.
Oh, and protruding Wand right now, throwing us the tier 1 sub while he's in game. He's saying, I hate to say it, but UCLA, they look like they might be thrown in the towel a little bit. They're still going to be fighting to try and come back, but they're saying GG to Virginia Tech. They're saying good luck for them tomorrow in the finals. And, we love to see that that kind of sportsmanship from all of our participants. It really warms my heart.
I mean, that's definitely the kind of the competition that I like to see. They can go at it, they can talk their trash before the match, and then after the match is over, they come back together and say, GG, good game, good playing with you. And then I actually saw Fresh also commented right above him saying, hey, how would we do a one-on-one sometime with the VT guys? So I think that's really awesome that, not only that, but he also wants to go play him. He's that competitive. He said, hey, I want to play you one-on-one. Let's see who can really throw it down. That's an interesting idea in and of itself. Maybe we could do a one-on-one tournament sometime, Lavelle.
Yeah,
King of the Hill tournament.
We're always down for...
As long as I'm still the CEO, I can make these decisions.
Yeah, as long as you don't... Hey, if you choose to do that brag with Ryan, that's your fault. You were that sure of VT. And to be honest, you're lucky Freedom J turned up today, man.
But guys, that's exactly the kind of content we want to keep putting out for you guys. We'd love to get a little friendly match going on between Fresh and the VT guys. So, but that's just the sportsmanship that we love to see. And UCLA, they're still fighting right now. They're still trying to make this as close as possible. They're getting some pistol kills going on right now. But yeah, a really great tournament from both these teams. Some really, really great individual and team performances. And I am honestly just watching this game has made me so excited about the final tomorrow. Ohio State versus Virginia Tech. Man, that is going to be a barn burner for sure.
Absolutely. And it's going to be a best of 3, guys. So if we have another situation like today where we have, one game to each team, we're going to get that 3rd game. And if they somehow tie, we'll keep going until one of those teams walks away as the Bragg House champions, guys. So now this is pretty much it for today. We have 18 seconds left on the clock. We obviously know UCLA is not going to come back. Shout out to the UCLA team for reaching it this far and for being awesome sportsmen when they come up short and Virginia Tech moves forward. Saying GG in the chat. Much respect to you guys. Thank you for coming in and continue. You guys killed it. But Virginia Tech and Freedom J, unfortunately, fortunately, depending on what side of the fence you fall on, absolutely dominated this match tonight. And that would conclude our last match of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. With that being said, I want to go back to a few key things that we've discussed over the last couple minutes. So, most importantly, Ryan, when is our next game? And of course, the World Series Championship.
Yeah, so that's going to be taking place tomorrow on Sunday. You guys are going to want to be there. Tune in. Ohio State versus Virginia Tech. That's going to be happening all at 5 p.m. So make sure you tune in to twitch.tv/Braghouse at 5 p.m. Virginia Tech, the final score popping up for you guys here. Our own Blue is in the back working hard. 45-24. Wow, that is just an incredible performance. Second highest individual team total of the tournament so far, as TCU had that 147 run performance, but Virginia Tech, Game 3, with it all on the line, they did not back down. An incredible performance by Jaymont, Chanderson, and Freedom J. Great job to you guys.
Absolutely. So, again, as Ryan just said, tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't already put it in your calendars, that's fine. No one really uses calendars these days after COVID. Just follow us on Twitch, and it's going to notify you the second we go live tomorrow evening. So make sure, guys, that you guys are here tomorrow with us as we see who goes home with it, Ohio State or Virginia Tech. And now I wanted to go over real quick, Lavelle, I know that you said the secret word for our final giveaway was clutch. Now, Who is our winner for this final giveaway tonight?
That winner would be McShacks. McShacks, you are the winner.
McShacks, holler at us. Congrats, man. You are the winner. You are going home with the gift card. If you're already a follower, if you're already a subscriber to the Bragg House, you just doubled up your money. Easiest way that you would ever double up your money is with the Bragg House and one purple button. And you guys, you're going to have plenty of opportunities to win tomorrow. We have another tournament starting next week for Rocket League, an all-girls tournament, something, again, another innovative barrier the Bragg House is knocking down. Thanks to working remote, thanks to college sports being postponed, the Bragg House is bringing you your college sports entertainment from the comfort of your home. So all you have to do is follow us and subscribe. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for our next game, and of course the championship game, as we see who goes home with the trophy, Virginia Tech or Ohio State.
And
I think that's it.
Zoldyck fan, thank you so much for the follow. I just want to address some things in chat. Freedom J is saying, "Don't sleep on my teammates, man. You are absolutely right." You know,
Hell yeah, baby! Hell yeah, baby!
Entire Virginia Tech team showing up tonight to get that dub. A really impressive performance. Protruding Wand and Fresh coming in to say GG's. You know, great performance by them throughout this tournament. They're inviting Freedom J to come run it sometime. So, you know, great sportsmanship on both sides and, you know, really phenomenal gameplay, guys. And thank you so much to, obviously, UCLA and Virginia Tech for taking part in this tournament. Guys, thank you so much for commentating on this with me. And, of course, the biggest thanks of all to the audience. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, supporting the Bragg House. And we cannot wait to be back with you guys tomorrow, 5 p.m. for the Esports College World Series final between Ohio State and Virginia Tech, guys.
Absolutely. So, guys, again, make sure you're tuning in tomorrow night. Make sure you guys hit that follow button so you're up to date every time the Bragg House goes live. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitch. You can go ahead and hit that exclamation social in the chat to see all of our tags, all of our links on every platform. If your school isn't in this esports tournament, you might be asking yourself, why do I go to school here? That's okay. There's an easier solution than dropping out. Just email us at events@thebragghouse.com and get your school enrolled in our next tournament. It's super simple. You guys can sign up, get involved, and any school can get in and compete to see if you can take down a top-tier school like Virginia Tech, who is now in the finals, coming to you tomorrow night to see if they can contend against Ohio State a second time, a second trophy, and a second thing to defend next year. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Lavelle, Daniel, thank you for inviting me to join you guys. Ryan, thank you for co-hosting. I appreciate it so much, and we will see you guys tomorrow evening.
Absolutely. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.